That's done. Yep. Go ahead and play it.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
What up, though, everybody? It's Chris Platte, Woodward Sports. Woodward Pistons is in the building. Kool-Aid and Jeff will be joining me. Shout out to Nick, the tailgate winner, for setting up the stream. And
what up, dog? Chris Platte, baby.
Hey, man. Well, I got you for a minute. Just how you feeling about the Pistons right now as it stands? We just talked about it on the heavyweights. It was a little depressing when we talked about how good Boston is. But how are you feeling about Pistons tonight playing I think, an important game because the Hornets are killing it right now?
I have to think that they take this game extremely serious after what happened against the Washington Wizards right now. Going forward, I really like the way they performed against the New York Knicks to respond from that loss, but we're talking about the number 1 seed in the East. You don't lose this game tonight if you are serious about your business. And I think the Detroit Pistons are going to get a really good case of the Pistons tonight. I think they're going to come out on fire, guns a-blazing, ready to roll. Couple days off. Sure, maybe had a little bit of fun for the Super Bowl, but I'm assuming nothing crazy that's going to hinder them tonight against Charlotte. But I would have liked to see a big move, but I know it's not all about me tonight. People want your thoughts. Chris Platte, do you still believe the Pistons, best team in the East?
I think they are playing like the best team right now, but I think that April and May is a different discussion than February and January. And that's what I said too when we were on that win streak in November, right? When we set the franchise or tied the franchise record, 13 straight wins. That was a great moment. But I said, look, as great as this moment is, as much as I'm happy for this moment, at the same time, this moment does not define this Pistons season, because at the end of the day, you have to play your best basketball in April, May, and hopefully June. That's what defines your season if you're the Detroit Pistons. And right now, Charlotte Hornets are an example of that. They were not playing their best basketball at the beginning of the year, but they have found a formula that has got them on a 9-game winning streak right now. And I saw Polymarket put out a graphic that said that every team of the last 3 or 4 seasons went on a 9-game win streak during their championship. Well, guess what? The Pistons went on a 13-game win streak. Yeah. So you got to be feeling good about it. But no, this is a team that honestly, all jokes aside, is playing like one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference right now. So this is, like you said, this is a big game. This is a game, especially after you dropped one against Washington. You're right there in losses. You're tied with OKC in losses. So you need to pick up this win because you have a real chance at, if you make the finals, having home court. And how big of a deal would that be for a young team that hasn't been there to have home court in the NBA Finals? That's huge. I get that you have to load manage Cade Cunningham. Jalen Duren, who is probable tonight, is going to play. I think that those are big things, but you have to weigh the risk/reward of chasing that 1 seed, because that 1 seed, not only in the Eastern Conference, but in the NBA, could be very, very huge for this Piston team if they have the ambitions that they have. That can swing a series.
That's a great point that I never even thought about yet, Chris. Like, honestly, and that's why all of these games matter. And yeah, the Charlotte Hornets are, hotter than anybody in the league right now. I think a guy you got to be careful for and to not let him get going, who shot very poorly in his last game, is a guy in Brandon Miller that me and you were actually just shooting the shits about last Friday. Because I really liked him as a prospect coming out of the draft. He's a little bit heat-checky at times, but you got to make sure you're not allowing Brandon Miller to get open from deep tonight, because he is a guy that can microwave a little bit, get going. He'll put up 20 in a heartbeat against you. So want to see the Pistons lock in against Brandon Miller if he is playing tonight. And I want to see the Pistons come out and really do some damage here tonight, Chris. And I'm excited to see what you guys have in store on the stream.
Yep, I got the chat.
Pumped up. You got the chat bumping?
Because, I gotta get to the chat. Kool-Aid, again, will be here shortly. Jeff will be here shortly.
Shout out. Shout out the chat. Smash the like for the boys.
Yes, smash the like button. We already got 6 likes. Come on, let's get to 100 today. Let's get to 100. Shout out to Nick for holding it down, man. I appreciate you big time for doing this, brother. And that was fun watching the game with you against the Knicks on Friday. Hell yeah, baby. R.I.P. the the halftime report that never made it. But Parker in the chat. What up, Parker? I am getting the game set. I know we are just about to tip off right now, so I will have it playing on my devices in front of me, breaking it down for you. And then, of course, we will have a post-game reaction or a post-game post-game analysis on the game. So, Pistons playing Charlotte Hornets, 10th seed in the East, but winners of 9 in a row, playing great. See the chat. I say Ibrahim's got Pistons money line. I like it. Look, I like the Pistons in this game. This is at Charlotte. This is not going to be an easy game. Again, this is one of the hottest teams in the league. This is a much tougher game on schedule than we originally thought. And the Pistons are underway here as I am pulling up the game right now. Pistons are up 2-0 against the Hornets. Big X factor for me is Jalen Duren. Their bigs have stepped up in Charlotte recently. Diabate has been great, but I need Jalen Duren to assert dominance. Jalen Duren is coming back from his knee injury, so that's gonna be a big deal for the Pistons team if they could get production out of Jalen Duren. They're all-star, by the way. So, shout out to Jalen Duren. But yeah, this Pistons team, man, I'm excited. I'm excited for this game, man. I didn't think that coming into the season that I'd be excited for a February game against the Charlotte Hornets, but this has been or going to be one of the Pistons' biggest tests right now this season. Chat, let me know, what are you thinking? Who are your X factors for this team in this game? Who's the players you need to step up? Kool-Aid just entering the building here. Shout out to Kool-Aid. Shout out to Kool-Aid for always showing up and showing out. So I'm getting this stream going for the Pistons. Right now it is 4-0 Detroit. I'm trying to get from my small phone to my big laptop. But Kool-Aid, man.
Man.
Hornets, 10th seed, but winners of 9 in a row. Yeah. If I told you this was a big game in, October, you would have been like, what's going on? Is this a tank game? Like, what's going on?
I think it's a handle your business game, if anything.
Yeah.
I've been going back and forth on this. They're hot 9-1 in the last 10. The New York Knicks, though, are also, they're 9-1 in their last 10. I wonder what that one loss is.
Yep.
I think the Pistons had a little bit of a wake-up call with the Washington Wizards. They were very, very short-handed, unexpectedly to some degree. And you could see that they were pretty frustrated that they had to play catch-up all night. I think with the Hornets, you're going to see a team. I'm hoping you see a team that comes out and from the get-go jumps all over this squad defensively. That's what you're going to want to see. If you look at what the Hornets have been doing, about 115 points per game, just under that over the last 10, you're going to see them jump out on them defensively, and I believe that turns this into a handle-your-business game for the Detroit Pistons. I've been going back and forth on it, though. You're right. They've been cooking. But when we talk about the Pistons being one of those squads that's winning a playoff series or, hey, they're a true championship contender, more times than not, you want to see your team come out and handle business on a road like
games like this. Absolutely, especially in the East, man, because this could end up actually being a playoff preview, depending on how fast the Hornets climb the charts. Like, you could be seeing a playoff preview right here, and you got to set the tone against that team. You can't give them confidence going into that series.
That I don't know who's really more dependable between them and, like, the Orlando Magic?
Oh, they're playing better basketball than the Orlando Magic.
That's what I'm talking about.
And I am totally good. Paul's a good playoff performer, so maybe I should watch my words, but I'm not worried about somebody that inefficient.
I think you're safe. I think you're safe, Platte.
Yeah, especially with Tobias' son.
But we call this, though, like the all-dysfunction teams. I have tracked this for 3 years, bro. And those teams that we put on that list are the teams that are firmly behind the Pistons. And I told people, watch the Knicks vault themselves into the all-dysfunction team after last year.
Yep.
And what they do, they went and fired their coach and couldn't find a coach that wanted it until they found a coach they didn't even want. Shout out Mike Brown. So
Shout out Mike Brown. I do like him.
Who? You're looking at the Atlanta Hawks. You're looking at the Philadelphia 76ers, who I think they're trying to stabilize things, but how much time do you have with Joel Embiid, realistically?
Yeah.
And can Tyrese Maxey do it without another elite on this team?
I agree. Shout out to Ann Scott in the chat, says new subscribers. Shout out. Shout out Woodward Pistons bringing new viewers to the YouTube channel. Please stick around. We cover everything here at Woodward Sports, all Detroit sports teams, professional, college, all the stuff that's going on. We have shows every single week, Monday through Friday, 4 shows a day, starting at 8 a.m. and going till 7 p.m. Myself and Kool-Aid are members of shows on here. I am of the Woodward Heavyweights, 5 to 7, and he is on Braylon Edwards with Shep, 2 to 4. So back to back, but it is a late night for us, breaking down the Pistons. Going to have a post-game reaction.
Yeah, it's a crazy week for me. So it's like we got Pistons tonight. I think we got another Pistons game Wednesday, and then I actually, let me double check. But I'm out of here Wednesday after the show, actually.
Yeah, All-Star break.
NBA All-Star.
Hey,
so
man.
that's going to be dope. We're going to try and have some live streams set up from there as well to be able to just be a part of the festivities. Shout out to our bro Koloff, man, who I always say this, and it's the truth. He is one of the best in the game at this reporting stuff, man. So shout out to Koloff, who I think nobody did it really like you did it in the Tigers world, man, or in the sports game.
Talk about taking the world by storm. Yeah. I mean, he ran with that. Like, he hit the ground running like I've never seen anything before.
It's like what you call it, though, man. Like, this is what we're here for. We're trying to be in the middle of everything. So anywhere they'll let us in, we're going to be there. Yeah. I was like, wait. Hey, y'all letting me back for another year at the All-Star? Okay, now, let's go ahead and do our thing.
Can you confirm or deny yet if you are in the celebrity game? I don't know if those rosters are public yet.
There's a lot of people with Michigan flavor there, and they just said, Kool-Aid, you just missed the cut. But we have Keegan-Michael Key. We got Amon-Ra. We have Matt Ishbia. You were like 4th or 5th on the list, and we didn't have space. So
Understandable. I had to take you over a few of those names, but not all of them. So shout out to you, Kool-Aid.
Shout out to my guy, Platte, dog.
Pistons up 6-3.
What are you, like 6'4"?
Yeah. Come on, don't disrespect me like that.
6'5"?
6'6".
6'6"?
6'6" with shoes for sure. I may have already shrunk. I may be at that age where I'm shrinking now, and I might be 6'5"3/4, but prime 6'6", decent shooter from the corners.
I like that.
Hell of a passer out the post. Not the greatest footwork, but hell of a passer out the post.
Game? Can we do the 2-man game?
Pick and roll game. Slow but patient.
Pick and pop.
Absolutely.
Let's rock then. We're good to go.
All right. Pistons up 8-5. Pistons up 8-5 right now. Kool-Aid, what's the part about this Hornets team that's going to be an X factor? What are you looking at for the Pistons in this game? I know you talked about taking care of business, but getting into the X's and O's, getting into the talent on the court. What are you looking at for this game?
If you look at what the Hornets have done well over this last 10 games when they're 9-1, they've shot the ball well from behind the arc, and they've taken a lot of freaking three-pointers. One thing the Pistons haven't done quite well this year, and even though they've played really good defense, sometimes they can find themselves trailing the passes and getting late to the three-point shots. In a game like this, especially with a guy like LaMelo Ball, and they got a couple others on the squad who will let the ball fly from deep, you want to make sure that you're playing. Honestly, you got to be stout. Like, sometimes they get a little bit lazy. Even Asar, they'll sag a little bit too inside. So if the ball's on the other side, Asar will go in too deep into the paint. Then all of a sudden, when the ball is swung over his head, he can't get back in time to contest the actual three-point shot. And that's when you see teams actually having success with them. And sometimes, like with teams like this, can they get away with it? Maybe. But a team like Boston Celtics, who there was some news today of Jason Tatum. He's going to be going down to assignment with the main Celtics or whatever it is to start his rehab assignment and then call back up to the Celtics. When you're talking about teams like that and where we're going to get, if we're talking about getting to the next level, you want to make sure they have things like that shored up. I think the Charlotte Hornets are a good team to practice that against. They shoot the ball well. They move the ball well. Offensively, they try to play fast, and they put points up.
Yeah, and they're gonna be a transition team, and this is a transition defense, so it's going to be a very interesting battle. Duncan Robinson off the beautiful feed to Duren. 2 points. Pistons are up 10-7.
Welcome back, Duren.
I do think part of that is probably Asar wanting to help this team on rebounding. This team, we've seen them over the last couple of stretch of games give up some offensive rebounds, some second chance points. So I'm sure that that's a That's an effort by Cade and Ausar, the good rebounders in this lineup to kind of combat those offensive rebounds. Ausar dribbles into a jumper, looks clean right above the free throw line. You love to see that. You love to see him getting going, staying aggressive. Duren contesting at the rim, no good. Duncan lobs it to Ausar.
Let's go.
I'll tell you, and anybody that throws a lob outside of Cade, I get nervous. But
you asked what is it going to take? It's going to take this.
Yeah.
Taking defense to offense that quickly. This has been one of the, not just the things that they do well, but one of the secrets or the keys to their success overall is how quickly that they can take those turnovers and turn them into points. We've seen that there have been games where the Pistons have, 30 fast break points, but they also got like 20 or 30 points off turnovers as well. And then they also have 60 or 70 points in the paint.
Yeah.
Those are things that I want to continue to see out of the Pistons. I think beating a team like these that they're going to try and come in with some energy. They're feeling themselves a little bit. And the Pistons are a team who are now circled on the calendar. They know, what, eyes are on them right now. So let's go out there and give them our best shot. This is where you like to see the Pistons go out there and just dig down a little bit more and have their way on defense, man. It's dope to see. But I got to ask you, what's your keys for tonight, man?
I think it's Duren, man. I think it's Duren. You're seeing him get active early. I think big resurgence outside of the three-point shooting. Obviously, this team is loaded with talent on the perimeter, but it's been Diabate playing great, getting double doubles, getting 15 rebound games. He has been an absolute menace on the glass for Charlotte, and I think if you can control the glass against this team, you limit transition opportunities for this team, which is a big problem, and create them like we just saw there for Detroit. So I think controlling the glass, look, I think that's a real identity thing that the Pistons have done well throughout the season, but have slipped a little bit heading into All-Star break in that realm, and I need to see them pick it back up, and a big part of that is Jalen Duren. I know that a lot of the MO of the Pistons is, shut down the perimeter, and Jalen Duren will just huff everything inside for rebounds along with Cade. But yeah, it has to be a combined team effort, man. It really does. Yeah. And I think if the Pistons could do that, I like the Pistons' opportunity to score more points in the paint. So then it just becomes, can you outdo the threes that Charlotte's going to inevitably chuck?
But that's where taking care of the basketball and really aiming at those high percentage shots, and not just high percentage looks, but making sure that you're not taking sloppy looks. That's where it's going to really, really matter for the Detroit Pistons tonight, if that three-point ball isn't falling. Now, with the Pistons, we know what their philosophy is: touch the paint on every single possession. That's what JB Bickerstaff says their goal is to touch the freaking paint. There you go. Touch the paint, and then outside for the three-pointer. More times than not, you would love to see that drop down. I actually like that offensive possession for the Pistons. A little bit quick when you're talking about the Hornets, but they get it. Turn defense into offense really quickly.
Yeah.
Wait, they called that a clean block?
Think
it's all right. Cade got the ball right back. Dished it off to Ausar, who finished with the tough layup. You know what? It's been nice to see Ausar not smoking as many layups. Word to Mavericks, Jarvis Crown.
Shout out to all of them.
Crown, yeah, all of them.
Shout out to all of them. Ausar started the season a big component of our.
Woo! Duren!
You are ahead of me, so I can't wait to see this.
I'm sorry, bro.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good.
Come on, bro.
I can't wait to see it.
Dog, I'm not seeing Duren say to look that over.
Yeah, we gotta find a way.
That looked like a clean block, but maybe
we gotta find a way to get.
I could be a homer.
Get on one of these TVs.
Oh, he smacked him straight in the face. He got the block first.
Shout out.
Let me see. Block first, but the swipe through was all in his arm. So I don't know how they call that type of stuff.
Shout out to his team, man. Shout out to his team playing hard, playing good basketball. Chat, let me know what you guys are thinking. Who you guys are looking at for this Pistons team to have a big game against the Charlotte Hornets. What matchup do you like? Bridges tried to poster Duren. My goodness.
I appreciate Duren even challenging that and making sure it wasn't a poster.
Take a page out of Stu's book.
And in the past, though, it's not that you see a whole bunch of posters on Duren. You just don't really see him in the past attempting to even block that.
Yep.
Seeing him block that now means that there's something different up top. Could he always have done that in the past? Yes. Jalen Duren, you've been a big mother effer for a long time, bro. Like, straight up. Pause. But it's like now he understands that he is literally the biggest player on the court, and he's playing that way. And I know that the story about him with the Sour Patches, that was pretty interesting because it shows that this development staff is actually taking a keen interest in who these players are on and off the court to make sure that they not only play as good as they can, but they can practice as well. Now you see Duren, he's chiseled up, man. Shout out to the GOAT, Nick Koloff, man.
Shout out.
Go Pistons.
Shout out one time, Booth Boys for life.
That's where I met him. I feel like I talked to you before I even had conversations with you guys at Woodward. It was on LCA Concourse that I was having conversations with Nick and you. I was going through my stuff. I have literal interviews from you guys on LCA Concourse there when nobody else was there. That's why I effed y'all, bro. Nobody was there.
This guy was a season ticket holder during the dog days.
was there. Koloff was there. A few of y'all out there was there. Some people supported Woodward Pistons and Woodward Sports. That's why I messed with
and make sure when we're at the games to reach out to us. Like, I'll do my best to put my location. I want to meet with the people. I want to talk with the people, man. You guys are what make this network possible. You guys are what make this opportunity possible. And we want to build that community because we got special things planned for this community and what we can really achieve with it. So I'm excited. I'm excited, man. I'm excited for that. Ibrahim says in the chat, Asar is so talented. Yeah, he just has great potential, man. Like if he can put it together, man. I mean, that just so much changes what this Pistons ceiling is. If
he puts it together, I don't think people understand. Him putting it together is just efficient offense. Like he doesn't even have to be a shooter.
He doesn't have to be even a high-level creator. He just has to be efficient in offense.
Just a little bit more efficient.
Just a couple pet moves, you know what I mean? Like couple things a couple just moves that he is comfortable doing, and he can really unlock some things for his team. I want to go back to what you said about Duren with the shot contest. Do you think that, and this is something I love for you to ask him next time you get the chance, All-Star break, is that those contests that we don't see as much from Duren, that we see a lot more from Stu, do you think that that's game plan by the Pistons because we talked about how essential he is to their rebounding, how you have guys like Asar and Cade out on the perimeter defending, so you don't have a lot of interior defensive rebounding because Tobias is a good offensive player, but he's not necessarily the greatest, rebounder. So do you think it's that kind of trade-off for Duren? Or do you think it's still him kind of learning when to jump, when not?
I think he is learning when to jump and when not, and I think he's gotten better with it.
I think
he's not as good as Stu. The numbers show that, but the numbers do show that he has improved greatly, and I believe that that's what allows the Pistons a large part of the time to do things like against the Denver Nuggets. They refuse to go double big, even though the Denver Nuggets are trying to force their hand and playing Jokic and Valanciunas. They refuse to go double big. They left Stu in the game, and they knew we got enough rim protection in there. They left Tobias in to guard Jokic and rotated Duren and Stu. Now, why do I like that? Because you got two centers who largely have been injury prone. You have two centers who have largely, when you look at them, they're huffing air, running up and down the court. Now, this year, them boys look different. And if you can continue to rotate them, and while you're getting the best out of them, not just the best, but Duren has stepped up. Defensively, I'm not looking for him to make – I don't think he's going to make an all-defensive team this year like I believe Stewart is. But in terms of him being somebody who I believe, he's more than serviceable, absolutely. Duren is somebody who's detesting and deterring shots in the paint. People are thinking twice when they're coming down. And you know what I don't see as much anymore? You remember we used to talk about the whole skip to my Lou down the freaking lane. I hated it. It didn't matter if it was a good guard, a mid guard, or if a star was resting and they let a guy come off the bench. People were able to get down the lane and to the rim so easily on the Pistons in the past. If Stu wasn't in the game, it was just like skip to my Lou. This is going to be a walk in the park. And this year, that's not as much. Whether it's been Stu in the game, whether it's been Jalen Duren in the game, or whether they've had to go with the small ball lineup, and you even see guys like Asar Thompson and Tobias Harris trying to, and even Paul Reed trying to contest shots at the rim. And it definitely puts you over the top when you got a guy like Cade Cunningham who, from the guard position, I saw they just flashed the shot. I think the percentage defended at the rim, or Cade is like third in the league or whatever from his position. So this team, as it relates to what they do so well and what I believe Jalen Duren is going to be, I think he's showing the right steps in the right direction. I think he's giving J.B. Bickerstaff a whole lot more faith and trust in who he can be out there on the court defensively, just as well as offensively. You know, the things, like the small things we wanted to see out of Jalen Duren on offense, like the pet moves, take your time. You know, don't just rush the post move. You're bigger than that. As he has slowed down on that side, we also see him kind of becoming more instinctual a defender as well.
Now the Pistons have just given up an 8-0 run to the Hornets. Hornets regained the lead 19-18. Yeah, this team could score in bunches, and you worry about that because this Pistons team does have, you know, moments where they hit a funk offensively. So it's going to be very interesting to see just how – I think the lower the score, the better, the more it favors the Pistons. I don't know if it becomes a track meet in a game of threes. You know, that's just not the Pistons style. But the Pistons have shown throughout the year to – make teams adjust to them instead of, you know, adjusting to what the other team is doing. They like to set the tone, and you need to after this 8-0 run. You need to get things under control, make it a half-court game, make the only transition your transition, and just make it rough for the Hornets. Because I think if you do that, I think the Pistons are in a good position. But if it comes to a track meet, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be tough, especially early on. You're looking at this thing here. The Pistons are doing pretty well in several stats. They're leading the rebound battle 10-9. They're leading the assist battle 6-4. They were up 6-1. So that means the Hornets' little offensive flurry here was led by them playing better offensive basketball in terms of sharing it. So they closed that gap that the Pistons had. And 3-point percentage, though. Right now the Pistons, a 0. Goose egg.
Yeah.
The Hornets, 33%, and they take the lead from field goals. The Pistons were leading the field goal percentage battle right now. They're down 38% to Charlotte Hornets, 41%. And that right there is telling you the lead. Now, it's interesting because that's where I believe this game is going to be decided. The Pistons have to buck up defensively and prove that their defense can withstand when teams are locked in and dialed in and circling them on their calendar.
Karis LeVert with the bucket for the
Your
Pistons to
player.
regain the lead. Yes, sir. They just showed Trajan, by the way. Shout out to Trajan. Shout out to Dennis Jenkins. We talked about it at the end of Heavyweights.
Dennis.
$8 million when he had a salary of $82,000. $8 million guaranteed for him is beautiful. 2-year deal, so great for the Pistons, great for him, and it really put the Pistons in a good position going forward because they trust him. They trust Dennis Jenkins a lot. Just a beautiful story. Those are the stories you love to hear about in the NBA. A guy that was undrafted, unheralded, came in and, you know, had stiff competition. Had very stiff competition to be able to crack that rotation. You had a top 5 pick ahead of you in Jaden Ivey. You had a first-round pick in Marcus Sasser ahead of you in the rotation start the season. You had a vet, Javonte Green, ahead of you, Duncan Robinson. You had to fight through a crowded guard room to get all the way up there to where the Pistons didn't even make a move at the deadline. That's how much they trust you. So just huge, awesome story for Dennis Jenkins, and one that I am continuing to be proud to have seen unfold. Because Dennis Jenkins, man, I mean, speak to a Kool-Aid. I mean, you're around Dennis. I mean, this has been an awesome story.
That's probably been the coolest thing is being there at his first summer league. Like, do you understand that the first people I actually ran into was Bobby Clintman's family. The second group of people I ran into was actually Dennis Jenkins' people. And that was really cool because after he was drafted, you know, Dennis Jenkins, being from where he's being, his trainers are connected to Cade's trainers. And so they put me in touch instantly, and it was cool to be able to say, okay, cool, I'm going to be there. I want to be able to talk to some people about Dennis Jenkins. And you know what? I talked about this on Woodward Pistons. I've also talked about this earlier on Braylon Edwards' show and other streams. You know, the ability to be able to talk to Jamel McMillan, who is one of your great basketball minds in the NBA and around pro sports. He is the head coach of the Motor City Cruise, son of the legendary Nate McMillan. Legendary player and coach. And he talked about Bobby Clintman and Dennis Jenkins, and everything he said about Dennis Jenkins is just true. And everything we saw was just true. When I saw him out there in summer league, I was like, whoa. He got a little bit of size to him. He got a little bit of girth to him. What I believe he's doing right now is stuff that I 100% believe is going to translate into, and I said at least the G League, and I think he has a good chance to be at least serviceable in the NBA. When he got to the G League, it was clear that it was a mismatch. But you see guys that play good in the league, and it doesn't necessarily translate to the stretches that we've seen Danis Jenkins have in the NBA. But he got to the NBA, and you know what it was? Being a little bit older, knowing, like playing against a lot of these guys and having success against a lot of these guys, whether it be in college, when he was the man, when he was the eldest, you know what I'm saying? Or whether it was these secret runs that these guys have all summer, he came in with so much confidence. And I think that helped propel the skill set that he does have to the top. Same thing we see with Jalen Duren right now. Same thing we see with him, a guy who now understands, yo, I'm that guy. And both of those guys have stepped into effectively new money. Danis has his right now. Jalen Duren is going to get paid this offseason. And you talk about it. Look, we all liked Jaden Ivey. We all did. We wanted something to work out for him here in Detroit. And I am, a little bit sad that it didn't. But it's a business. Yeah. And this team has put themselves in a position now to where, you know what? We had a Danis Jenkins work out. We did.
Yeah.
And so that gives the Pistons this opportunity where when you're having success without one of these other players, to be able to lock in with the guys that you know you're having success with, invest in them and go forward, man. And again, you said it best. Congratulations, Danis Jenkins. He put in the work. Shout out to his trainers. Shout out to his camp, man. Shout out to the Pistons and the development staff. Shout out to the people who identified him because that dude's a baller, man. He's a baller.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. Again, just continues to be one of the best stories in the NBA this season. And game by game, he gives me more and more confidence in his ability to translate to playoff basketball because he is somebody that has had, the most pressure situations already. He's fighting for his NBA life. You don't get – I was at that Washington game where the Pistons won in overtime. He hit the shot to send it to overtime. That was his first, real big look. Pistons were on a winning streak. Cade trusted him with the final shot of the game, and he came through for this team. And so he has delivered in multiple pressure points already. That gives me a lot of confidence that, playoff basketball is new to him. But he hasn't shown a moment yet where he's come up short. And I think every game he's giving you more and more reason. Cunningham, man, he has been great for them. He has been great for the Hornets.
I told you, they let the ball fly from three-point land. That's what I said. The Pistons have to make sure that their defense doesn't get caught over-pursuing. They play defense so aggressively that teams have found out we can whip the pass around a certain way and get them all discombobulated, and they just don't defend the three well once they get shifted out of position. And so the Pistons have to make sure against this Hornets team, that's what I believe is going to be the Hornets' number one opportunity to stay in this game. What are the Hornets shooting right now? 43% from beyond the arc. That's going to be their number one opportunity, in my opinion, for them to stay in this game. It's what we called out in the beginning. So I'm hoping that this Pistons team, finds a way to correct on some of these defensive misslides they're doing after the ball is passed 2 times. They just seem to always be out of position.
And they're countering it well, though. They're in the bonus. Karras did just miss that free throw. You got to take advantage of the free throw line. If you are going to, get just blitzed in the 3-point, if you're going to get blitzed in the 3-point, you got to win that free throw battle. So that'll be a stat to track as this game unfolds. Look, man, Charlotte is playing good basketball. Did you see that their trade got rescinded? That Kobe White is not going to be on their team. He failed the physical. So
Kobe White did?
Yeah, a Piston player that I wanted for the Pistons.
Good still, Danis.
Good play. Shout out to Javonte Green, man, for not staying down too long after that injury, being able to play through. Shout out Rando Smalls. What up, Del? It was a pleasure to meet you at the Wicked Pickleball Tournament.
I get to meet him at the Allied Challenge, man. Rando is a great spirit.
Yeah, absolutely.
As a lot of our chat family members.
Cunningham. I did hear that great story about Cunningham. He hits another 3. They were in Milwaukee. He's born and raised there. And they said, the team said, "What are you doing for dinner?" And he was like, "I'm going home. I got family here."
Yeah, he had the whole team over.
Yeah, he had the whole team over, man. Stuff like that, man.
It's fine.
Makes me wish I could be a professional basketball player.
And I got to tell y'all right now, I told you guys 3-pointers are going to keep them in. The Hornets right now are 5 of 9 from behind. 5 of 10, actually.
Yeah.
From behind the arc, keeping them in the game. 15 points from 3. Half their points as they take a lead in the first quarter over the Pistons have come from behind the arc, bro.
But the Pistons are countering it right, getting in the bonus, being aggressive, and they are contesting a lot of these threes. So I think that if you could get to a place where, they probably will go on a cold streak at some point. You probably will knock threes down at some point.
That's where the Pistons have to foul a little less.
Them down. Yeah.
They have to foul a little less, though, because the Pistons right now, the fouls called are combined for 5 to 5. The problem is the Hornets have taken 9 free throws to the Pistons 6. What that means is the Pistons are chasing on defense.
Oh, my God.
And they're winding. The Pistons are chasing on defense. Yep. From 3. I told you if they stay in the game, it's threes. I saw that one.
End of the
first
quarter.
You just saw it, didn't you? Yeah. So 33-29, I was waiting for that. 6 of 10 from behind the arc for the Charlotte Hornets. I'm telling you guys, that's going to be your key for tonight. Now, are the Pistons doing what they have to do? I think they need to clean it up. They got to tighten up the rotational defense a little bit. But overall, Platty's right. They're doing the other things that you want to see them do. They are getting to the line themselves. They are hitting 83% from behind the arc. They have limited the Charlotte Hornets rebounds, offensive rebounds to just 2. The Detroit Pistons have 5 offensive rebounds. And steals-wise, stocks-wise, the Pistons are leading out right now 4-2. They got 4 steals, no blocks, though the Hornets have 1 steal, 1 block. And turnovers, Pistons only have 2. Everything you want to see, fast break points, Pistons have 8. The Hornets have 7 turnovers and only 2 fast break points. Points in the paint, Pistons 18, Hornets 4. Everything else is there. What's the difference maker right now? The 3-point line, including a couple BS shots by the Charlotte Hornets, including the end of that first quarter. Bro, they just floated that mug up there from like half court, and it went in. So
ridiculous.
Hey, but that's the key though. They're shooting 56% from the floor and 60% from behind the arc. The Pistons got to tighten up the defense.
Okay, and Cade, man, your superstar has to be a superstar. Your MVP has to be an MVP. I'm going to continue to say that, man, because this Piston team is chasing the ones. You realize that right now, I told this to Nick right before you got here, and Nick didn't even realize it, that the Pistons are tied with OKC in the loss column. Mm-hmm. They have a very real shot of chasing the 1 seed in the NBA, not just the East. So I think the Pistons is going to be interesting how they do the load management versus chasing that 1 seed, because talk about a team that, again, I don't want to go too far ahead, but if you are fortunate enough to get to the NBA Finals and this be your first experience, to have home court for these young guys would be so huge for this team.
And the thing is this, even though we all sit around and hope and plan and think that this is a team that's going to be built for longevity of success, to be a consistent and perennial contender, finals contender, it don't actually work that way. There's only a few teams we've seen be that. Yeah. Think about how much promise Philadelphia 76ers had. Did they even play for one?
Nope.
No. Think about that. Think about the promise that the Atlanta Hawks had for a blip. Think about the promise that the Orlando Magic had for a blip. Yeah. These teams are already behind the Pistons, and if the Pistons get that opportunity, you want to see them, especially since we also share in Lions fandom. We saw how close they got. Yo, my fault. This guy was behind half court when he let that mug go.
Man, I need Cade to 1 for 7. You need better for Cade.
Yeah, I can't be mad with the shot attempts. Like, he's taking shots. Obviously, you want to see him become a little bit more efficient. So, at first, I was going to say maybe Cade needs to push a little bit more, but he was. He had 3 assists in that first quarter, and he had 7 field goal attempts. So, he was definitely pushing, but you're going to have to start knocking down some shots, Cade.
Yeah, you're going to have to start knocking down some shots. And the new acquisition we talked about, you didn't get Kobe White, but you got another Bull, Kevin Huerter. Would love to see him break the seal, get some threes.
Actual Bull.
Yeah.
Actual Chicago Bull.
Actual Chicago Bull.
I thought you meant, we got us a Bull. I was going to say, well, we are to be seen.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah.
We got some Bulls. We got some dogs out here.
Kevin Huerter is in right now. Javonte Green for 3. Nope. Okay. Rebound chance for Karis LeVert. Javonte again from 3. Nope. Stu fighting Huerter helps get the offensive rebound. Come on, get some good action. Oh, okay, Cade drew the foul. Cade drew a foul there.
Yep.
We'll love that kick out to Huerter. Again, I will say this, cool. If you do look at the track record, though, these Pistons shooters that they bring in, they don't necessarily start the hottest. Duncan didn't start well this year. Beasley didn't start well last year.
No.
But they trend upward as the season goes on. And so I do have to have patience when it comes to Kevin Huerter.
Yeah, I mean, we used to hear back in the day, and it's funny how the narrative just kind of goes away, but back in the day when the good teams used to add players, they would always say, it's going to take at least 10 to 20 games for them to get their chemistry right. That used to be one of the main things. They're just getting their chemistry right. Now it's like you add a player, and if he's not hot from game one, everyone's like, trash. It's the instant gratification era.
Yeah.
And so I understand that. That is this era. There are some people who can go out there and give you that. And again, they hit another three. Guys, go back, rewind the tape. I'm telling you, the key to this is the threes.
Yes.
When I went back to prepare for this game, because usually it's like, okay, we could come in and talk about it. Pistons supposed to handle this one. But you look at it, 9-1, how did they get there? Oh, snap. They actually are kind of good at some of the things that the Pistons are weak defensively. That's the point here. So now the Pistons.
Cade right back.
Come on. 39-35. Hornets over the Pistons right now. You said Cade right back. Are you a little ahead of me?
Maybe Cade got a layup after that LaMelo Ball corner three. It's
Where you at, 39-35?
Yep.
9:50
left.
Yep, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you want to see this team go out there and take away these looks from the Hornets, because if they boss up, there's no way the Hornets are going to out-physical the Pistons to a win.
Right.
They're not going to do that. But if they're able to shoot 61% from behind the arc on 7 or on like 12 or 13 attempts through the game's first, 15 minutes of the game, that's pretty terrible right now. Yeah. And again, another three-pointer after like 2 passes. The Pistons' Achilles heel is they cannot find a shooter.
They can't.
This is in all season. No matter how good they've been, this has been stuff that they have to figure out, man.
Yep.
This was my fear, Platte, from the beginning.
I mean, look, they're winning the field goals. They have 14 made field goals. The Hornets have 12. The difference is that 9 of those are threes. The Pistons have none of those. Like, that's
how many of those?
None. And that's where the math gets concerning. We talked about that at the beginning of the season, and this Piston team has done a really good job with that. They've done a really good job beating that allegation, because it is something that a lot of teams were watching Detroit, and they were saying, okay, can this formula work? Can this formula work when you're just not this great, when you're this not great at three-point shooting? And they've shown it can. But tonight is a huge test in that regard, because this team is shooting the lights out.
Dang, they just gave them another offensive rebound.
But shooting, the way shooting is with this in the NBA, is it is so up and down that, you got to like the chances that the Hornets can go cold here, and that can really give the Pistons some momentum. And right now they're hanging within striking distance. If I told you the Hornets had 9 more threes made than the Pistons, you would think they're down a lot. They're only down 5.
Yeah, and
because they're doing the other
easy
things
for them
right.
to go on a cold streak, because as the team does good, then you're going to see LaMelo Ball start to hunt for his a little bit more.
I mean, you saw him just do that little, one-legger three-point shot.
And that's why. They're 9 of 10 from 3 in their last 10 attempts. Which one do you think is the miss?
LaMelo Ball one-legger. I'd put the house on it.
So
I did just see it, but if you told me to guess, I would have guessed that. Let's see what the chat.
And the defense has been
up
bad
to.
on these things, man. That's what I've been worried about the Pistons, because I'm telling you, there are teams in this playoffs who can absolutely dice us up. The OKC Thunder will dice us up from behind the arc, and there are teams in this East, like Philadelphia 76ers, like the Boston Celtics, who will dice us up from behind the arc. The New York Knicks, not so much, and so when it becomes a physical game or star versus star, our guys are going to win that one every single time. But when it's a squad that can move us around a little bit and get that defense kind of shifted around, well, it becomes a situation to where the Pistons are playing on their heels.
All right, let's go, Cade. Good a little
defense. Bucket
for him.
Oh, another one-legger. Oh, my gosh, and it goes through. LaMelo, man, 45-39. Oh, yeah, 45-39 Hornets lead with 7:44 left in the second quarter. Golly, boy, these boys are hitting the three. When I said that was going to be the key if they were going to win, I didn't know it was even going to be this good.
10 of 18 is, I mean, that's almost impossible to replicate. Like that is.
And a half, that would be like if a team did that for a game, we're good to go.
Yeah. We got 7 minutes left in the second. They already have 10 threes. They are absolutely spamming the three-point line. And that's what worries me about Boston, man, is Boston can do that. Boston can do that.
Remember my
but they
sneaky
can
team?
also play ugly.
My sneaky team from the beginning of the year was Boston Celtics.
Absolutely.
Good shot, Cade. Good shot, Cade. This is what we need. So we got efficient Cade here in the second quarter. He knocks down the three, 42-45. He's been getting busy in this quarter here, and now he leads the Pistons in scoring with 15 points and assists with 4. He's the high in the game with the leading the game in points and assists. So Cade, he's at least doing his thing, and he hits the first 3 of the game for the Detroit Pistons, who are 1 of 10 from behind the arc, bro.
Yeah. You gotta run them off that 3-point line, and you gotta also just start getting buckets.
Cade rims out with another 3 attempt, but that one actually looked good. I'm not mad at that one.
Yeah, that's a good dribble pull-up.
Dang, LaMelo Ball.
This guy's ridiculous.
LaMelo Ball, man. Him and Isaiah Stewart just
plays,
collided at half court.
When
49-42 Hornets,
man. A lot. Get Karras out. Stu is hurt. 10 threes already. Yeah, 10 threes already is nuts. Yeah. Look, the Pistons are going to have to find a way to limit that.
But that's the thing. I don't know if they have the personnel.
I don't either.
I don't know. Like, I keep looking at it. I don't quite know what's so bad about the 3-point defense.
I don't know what team, though, is like. I mean, look, there's a reason the Hornets have won 9 games in a row. It's because they are doing this to a lot of teams, including the San Antonio Spurs.
And OKC. They popped OKC.
Yeah, like, they've done it to title contenders. Like, the best teams in the league, they've had these games already. So, you know, this is a real team, man. At least the way they're playing right now. Who knows how real this is if they can string together this for multiple months. And they always
play the Pistons tough because of that, though. Like, their ability to hit the shots from behind the arc, like Brandon Miller saucing us last year.
Yeah.
Like, that type of stuff, it's happened. And they're going to have to figure that out, man. Like, more and more I think about it, they're really going to have to figure that thing out because there are some squads that are going to be waiting for them like, oh, yeah, I can absolutely smack them.
Yep.
Absolutely. And he's talking about potential first-round matchup. I'm telling you, I don't want to necessarily, if I had my pick, it wouldn't be the Hornets first. I can tell you that much.
No, absolutely.
I would rather play the Magic. I would rather play Atlanta Hawks.
Yes.
Give me any of those other squads because I believe from a physicality standpoint, the Pistons can definitely have their way. But the Hornets, they actually roll a little bit of size out there along with youth, along with three-point shooting.
Yeah.
Along with all-star material. LaMelo Ball's been an all-star before.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. I think it sounds crazy right now, but I mean, outside of the, like, to me, them and Philly, like they're in a tier. Like I put them in that tier with Philly of that team that's a tough matchup.
Yeah.
And I don't like that Philly matchup either for the Pistons, if I'm being honest, because Embiid is a guy who can get your bigs in foul trouble. And they just have the versatility to play multiple ways. They can play fast with Maxey and Edgecombe, or they can play slow with Paul George, Joel Embiid. Like they have a lot of talent.
They'll get
Paul George will be back
right before the playoffs.
Yeah.
But
and he's been having a good year.
Yeah, he's been.
And he already took the substance, so I mean.
Yeah, so he'll be good.
Yeah, he'll be good. He'll be good. I wonder how that works. I wonder if you fail like another test or whatever. How
percentage of points scored in the paint.
I'm Paul George. I'm probably just PEDing up right now. I mean, you can't get suspended again.
52% of the Pistons' points is scored in the paint. 60-something% of the Hornets' points
I assume
have been
they're not
scored from
testing
behind
right now.
Bro, the Hornets are shooting 55.6% from behind the arc and from the field. Shout out to Tobias Harris for hitting another 3 for the Pistons. They're second of the game. I think that they're now like second, 2-12 on the night.
Shout out.
Pull the lead to 45-49 because they are doing those other things so well, and they only have 2 turnovers to the Charlotte Hornets 8.
Shout out Jeff in the building.
What up, though, brother?
Shout out.
Pistons 49-45. They're on offense here. Tobias tried to pass it.
How's that not travel when he does that? That looked like a little Cupid shuffle of the feet there.
Man, LaMelo was talking to the referees about
something.
something.
Man. Yeah. No, you talk about formulas to be competitive with the Pistons, and they got it. They have the strength of the Pistons' weakness in 3-point shooting.
Bro,
they
that
have
is
the
travel.
athleticism that the Pistons have, and they're going to be a tough team. I think they don't have a player under or over 28 in their rotation right now.
I mean, they're tough. I think some of it has to do with the early success they had. When you kind of understand what to expect, that does help you. That experience helps you. And now they're a squad who I told you if the Pistons were going to get back into it, it's going to be because LaMelo Ball was just on some BS. And you saw a couple plays there on some BS.
Yeah.
Pistons closed the gap to 4. And what do the Hornets do? They put LaMelo Ball on the bench. And I think that is what's helping them a whole lot more this year than anything. Cade from the mid-range, he's doing his thing tonight.
He is.
With 5 minutes and 48 seconds left to go in the
Rough
half,
start.
17 points, 5 assists for Cade Cunningham. Jalen Duren is leading the game in rebounds at 4 right now.
Rough start for Cade, but this is what I call. I called it when it was 1 for 7.
You did.
You need to be an MVP, and he is playing like an MVP
Hey,
tonight.
ball nowhere Platte.
Kevin Huerter on defense.
Another 3, another drop. That's going to be the equalizer for the Hornets all year. That's the team that they've set up. Some people, how are they doing this? That's the team they set up, and they're just hitting their stride from behind the arc. Now, if they go cold, it's going to be because they got LaMelo Ball in there. They take him out, and what do? They move the ball around. The Pistons, I'm telling you, after the second pass, they just fall off a cliff. I'm going to keep saying this. I've said this after post games. I said this at the beginning of the season of why I believed the Boston Celtics were going to be a sneaky good matchup for the Pistons.
Yeah.
And not in a good way for the Pistons. Like, for the Boston Celtics, they are a nightmare. They can be a nightmare problem for the Pistons. And you see that kind of playing itself out right now with the Hornets. It's just all the Hornets do well is shoot the ball from outside the arc. That's the thing they do the best. Everything, and they just hit another 3. What the frick? Boy, Brandon Miller from the top of the key. Good name. Shout out to him with the name, Brandon. But sorry, jersey choice.
Good shot. Good shot though. Good shot though.
Good shot. I mean, but that's what I'm telling you. That's
Yep.
what it's going to be. They take LaMelo out, and it just feels like the offense is just even flowing that much more smooth. That's going to be an interesting thing. Deep 3, and they just ram out.
Yeah, you're starting to see that lead slowly grow. Remember, it was
foul.
5 points. It was 5 points. The Pistons are trading now. Now you see
was
it
just
as high
4.
as 8. Yeah, like that's what the 3-point will do. That's what the 3-point will do if you don't fix it. If you don't correct that, then that's just gonna accumulate, and eventually the math is gonna favor that team, and it's favored them pretty much all this second quarter. Pistons had the lead for a majority of the first and the start of the second, but the Hornets' 3 points barrage has just continued.
Well, you got to go back to that. The Pistons had the lead for most of the first until about those last 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And then the Hornets took the lead and then hit that heave to put them up 4 going into the second. And this is going to be the issue. Every single time they play a team like this, it seems like them, Denver, when healthy, those are squads that are going to give the Pistons some fits, man.
Absolutely.
Absolute fits. And if the Pistons have aspirations to go as far as we believe they can go, they're going to have to figure this out. This is somewhere I don't know who necessarily is over the defensive tweaks and changes and things of that nature for the Pistons, but I know at least they have a strong room over there. I know Luke Walton is a really, really, really good offensive mind. I wonder what Kevin Burleson is doing as well, brother of former Lion player Nate Burleson, who legend as it relates to basketball from the state of Seattle, and he played at Minnesota. His school, Minnesota, same school as JB Bickerstaff, so they got a connection there. But defensively, it would be nice to see this team be able to make the right tweak to be able to at least give them to like that third or fourth pass before the defense breaks. Because let's just be point blank, period. We've all hooped in this room, right?
Yeah.
We've all hooped. Shout out, Jeff. We've all hooped.
Shout out.
Like, we already know what it is. And your coach tell you, hang on for dear life effectively. You got to hang on when that ball is boom, 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 boom. But we also know on offense, what did the coach tell us? You don't even got to dribble the ball to beat the defense. If you just swing it from one end of the court to the other end of the court, around the key, you're going to get that defense tired out. The problem is the Pistons defense is getting worked from behind the arc like a little too fast. They need to be able to extend that defense just a little bit more. Will you get beat? Maybe. But it needs to be because you forced it to their worst three-point shooter on the court and not because they went one pass, two pass, boom, our best three-point shooter on the court is getting it. Knipple should get no open looks, and instead he's getting open looks.
Yeah.
Brandon Miller should get no open looks, and instead Brandon Miller is getting open looks. I'm sitting here like, I watched Richard Hamilton play, and you know what defenders knew? Even if they were bad, you can't give him an open look.
Yep.
That's why they had to run that boy off a screen, off a screen, off of screens. Mm-hmm. And that's why I want to see the Pistons defense get as vicious as the players who were trying to run around and chase Richard Hamilton.
True.
If they don't get there, they're going to have nights where when they have teams that can hit the three like this, where they're getting absolutely diced up from behind the arc, and it can hurt them. Boston is a team where you're looking at like, you hear the news of a Jason Tatum. I'm telling you, if the Pistons aren't defending the Celtics appropriately from behind the arc, they will lose to them.
Yes, they will. They will. Boston is a real threat.
They got Nikola Vucevic at the deadline.
Piston killer.
I feel like a lot of it is the Pistons they're helping too much when players are attacking the basket. You see Javonte Green going down to help. It leads to a wide open three. A lot of times they get caught in help defense.
Sometimes they just fall asleep. Yep.
Yeah. And I almost want to say, like, okay, if the Hornets are gonna, commit to driving to the lane, then make them hit the tough two. Don't give them a wide open three.
I 100% agree with you on that one, man. The issue is where the offense is being initiated for the Hornets, and that's the tough part there. What are they sitting here calling with Duran on this?
Yeah.
All they call what, ball basket interference?
Obviously, I'm muted, but
49-55. That's all he had.
They did.
Like, look at this offense here. So they run the dig. So Brandon Miller clearly thinks that Jalen Duran's defense is trash.
Oh, he had his hand in the bottom of the net.
Yep.
Williams, dog. Come on. You kidding me? That's one of the things I wish the NBA would get cleaned up. Watch how Grant Williams just kind of falls, bro. I saw him put his hand on his shoulder, but come on. Like, they got to clean that type of stuff up, bro. You can't just get a foul just because you just decide I'm falling.
You know what it is? It's the unethical basketball.
Unethical.
That's the definition, Grant Williams.
Golly. Like,
unethical. What?
Yeah. And it's like the ref is sitting right there. It's just dumb. I'm just like, come on, dog.
Like he definitely, like, you could tell that's a flop.
Like, I'm just saw the replay again. It's like
shout out Gumby in the chat. Gumby 77777. Much love and respect for Kool-Aid and Chris Platte. Hashtag rise up. Hashtag classic Pistons. Shout out to you. Shout out to Jeff as well. He just joined the stream, making it possible there in the TD booth. We greatly appreciate him. It's always good to have all these ball knowers on the stream, including you guys in the chat. 3:30 left. Pistons down 6. 5 on the shot clock for Charlotte.
Cade with a big rebound. Cade just took the team lead for rebounds with that one. So Cade leads the Pistons in points, rebounds, and assists. 17, 4, and 6.
MVP
that
night.
That officially puts him on triple-double watch. Every time we say this,
we were supposed to mention that, Kool-Aid. What happened?
I did that for you, Jeff.
Shout out.
Let's see if his rebounds stop.
One thing I will say, you see it here with the Pistons.
He got a 5th rebound. Let's go.
With the Pistons' physicality, I do think in a long series that would be a factor against the Hornets. Them losing their some players losing confidence in their shot, like the 3-point shooting thing is obviously a very useful tool. Don't get me wrong, but I think where the Pistons will have success is they'll be counting on teams to be worn down physically because of what they're doing. Like, I mean, look at these hits. These Hornets players are going to the ground play after play, and it's because the Pistons are pushing right through them. That's going to wear on them. That's going to affect their shot. And again, it's a big deal if one or two of these guys goes cold from 3 for the Hornets. Like, that's going to play in the favor of the Pistons. So that's why I do believe that as long as you can, like you said, Kool-Aid, not get beat and give these wide open look after wide open look that any NBA player can hit. then I think you like your chances of coming back because I don't think this team is going to.
Oh no, it's
good.
Like it's a 3-point game. Durham with another free throw here to be able to potentially pull it within 2. And it's like you said, despite the fact that we knew the 3 was going to be the equalizer for the Hornets, they haven't done enough to separate themselves. They still lead the game with double the amount of turnovers that the Pistons have. And realistically, outside of shooting the threes, what is it that you can look at and say they've done well? Think about this. They're shooting 52% from beyond the arc, 48% from everywhere from the field.
That drops to 40%. That 3-point drops to 40%. The Pistons are winning this game.
Yeah,
and 40% is, keep in mind, like that's a number that a lot of teams would be very happy with if they shot 40% from 3 in a game. They'd be like, wow, we shot 40% from 3.
The Hornets showing that these guys aren't able to necessarily play as efficiently anywhere else outside of from behind the arc.
That's what the Hornets have been though, and that's maintained their philosophy. No matter what head coach has been in there, they've maintained we're going to be exciting. We're going to shoot a lot of threes. We're going to have alley oops and things like that. But as far as being a complete team, all around team, we still haven't seen that from the Hornets.
Sheesh, Khan Knipple. He said I could do more than shoot threes.
He's a baller.
Doggone it, bro. He is a baller.
Yep.
How doesn't he not have the team leading points? Brandon Miller's leading them in scoring with only 12. They must have a lot of people with points. They're going to have probably about 4 or 5 people in double figures.
I like the aggressiveness of Duren, man. I like the aggressiveness of Duren to race up the floor and try to seal out, get those quick, easy buckets. You see that.
Chris, you know what it is? He knows he has an advantage.
Yeah, there's nobody on this Charlotte team. That's why he was my highlight to start the stream, was because there ain't a single body on this team. Shout out to Diabate, who's playing well, but there ain't a single body on this floor that can stand to Jalen Duren except Isaiah Stewart, and he's on our team. So.
And I think another thing that helps with the confidence is the fact that you see Jalen Duren doing something he wasn't doing as much in the beginning of the season. That's knocking down free throws. When you know you can knock down free throws, which is something that I can tell you this, sources, something that bothers Asar Thompson is that something last year 100%. That really bothered him was, I go in, I miss free throws. It's a problem for my team.
Yeah.
Y'all remember the game against the Milwaukee Bucks last year? Where he was at the free throw line, had opportunity, he was literally shaking.
That was Ron Holland.
Yeah, Ron Holland. But no, Asar had a game too, but that one was Ron Holland against the Bucks, and he was shaking.
Yeah, that was his rookie. He was his first.
That was
time.
But I'm saying, bro, this is what
turn it to offense.
This is what these guys are going through. Like things that I've heard about Asar is that he has to figure that out, which will help to unlock aspects of his physical game 100%. Going to the rack. Yeah. The one thing we've known is we've seen him smoke layups and not go as physically as we know he can go. It's interesting, when you think about the fact that Ron had that game, that feels like it's so far in his rear view as if that was a game where like now confidently Ron walk around like he's the man. Same thing we see with Jalen Duren, and Asar Thompson on defense walks around like he's the man, but on offense does he understand he could be just as effective. He could be just as efficient because of his athleticism and his physicality.
Cannot give those second chances. Good rebound for Duren.
One of the things that I've seen throughout this game is that the Pistons are too happy to chuck a three. Like I've seen that multiple times where like Javonte Green had like the same possession with multiple shots and he was just chucking them up. And it's like I almost want them to attack the basket because that's where they're getting all their money at right now is at the basket.
Sometimes it's the play or what the almost like the hot route that's called. And so you got some guys that is your job in those sets.
Shout out
just
Duncan,
shoot that ball.
What a good vet.
And realistically, think about how many times this year we've enjoyed the Javonte Green hitting that three. If for Javonte Green, it seems to be either he's hitting a 3 and a half court, or he's getting like a fast breakaway
there we
dunk
go.
and steal.
Turnover.
Or steal and dunk.
Jeez, Duncan. Oh, my goodness. Dear God. Pisses up 2. 40 seconds left.
He's not getting paid to dunk.
Look at Cade. Look at Cade. Look at Cade. Get him to the free throw line. Thank you. Oh, they didn't get him to the free throw line. What'd they call? Oh, they call. Wait,
They
am I
call a
tripping?
walk?
Oh no, they call goaltend. Pistons lead,
Oh, okay.
61-57.
There we
I was like, what happened?
I was waiting for it too, man. I'm on mute, so
61-57. Hey, that happened quick.
What is one of the things that we kind of wanted to see from Cade throughout this whole season?
Talk to me.
We wanted to see aggressiveness in the first half. Usually it took him to the third quarter to, kind of get
Like
going.
aggressive scoring.
Yes.
Right.
In this game, he has checked that box because the Pistons needed it.
And what I've noticed is he's a rhythm scorer. I don't think people understand. Like, you want to see Cade start efficiently, but he's the type of guy who, if he starts 1 of 4, 1 of 5, 1 of 7, that's not the end of the night. That might be the end of the other team's night, the opposition. Mm-hmm. Those types of players, when they hit their stride and they just need a couple kind of swings to get it going, it's like night for you. And you look up in a heartbeat, and what does Cade have? 19, 5, and 6. He's leading the game in points. He's leading the game in rebounds. He's leading the game in assists, not just the Pistons. You're right. We pondered this. Do we want to see him be somebody who's out there pushing to get his points, score a little bit more because we know the type of scorer he can be? I like the fact that, at the very least, he never turns down his level of aggressiveness.
yeah.
He's a guy who, if he's at least not scoring, you're going to look and you're like, dang, he's 1 of 6 from the floor, but he got 5 assists in the first quarter, which is what we were able to do tonight. And most nights, that's what we're able to see. Now, in the past, he would be taking a few less shots in the first quarter to specifically probe. But I'm at least glad to see him this year in the first quarter, at least taking a few more shots than he normally does. Selfishly, I kind of feel like I would want to see him take more, but the Pistons are winning right now, so I'm just like, what do I know?
Hey, 14-2 run to end that second quarter in the last 5 minutes. I mean, that's winning basketball.
They're shooting 15.4% from behind the arc to 48% for the Hornets, but the Pistons turned the ball over only 4 times, so Hornets 9. They helped to control that offensive rebound. They helped to limit, because there was a time when they were tied overall for rebounds, 15-15, right? Well, the Pistons in that half up 22-17, which means they stopped any aspect of second chance points. They reduced the amount of turnovers that they were having, or the rate that they were having them. And honestly, when they had the opportunities to score, if they weren't scoring, they were at least getting to the free throw line and knocking them down. 91.7% for the Pistons from behind the arc. That's almost as good as 100% based on how this season has gone.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I think that look, even the Hornets being what they are from 3 now, after that hot start where, like you said, it was as late as the mid-second quarter. As late as the mid-second quarter, they were shooting over 60% from 3, and so to tail it off to 48 again. I said that just a few minutes ago, Kool-Aid.
Yep.
You get that number to the 40s. If you get that number to the 40s with the way you're punishing them inside, you like your chances. I mean, they made 6 more field goals, the Pistons. It's just quite simply the threes. The threes are the difference. The Pistons have one, and the other stat, they're winning the free throw line. Remember, that was the other great equalizer for this Piston team. If you are not going to get a lot of threes, if you are going to get points in the paint, well, what gets you just as much as a 3 is an and 1 in the paint. So you gotta take advantage of those moments.
And you know what? When you talk about the free throw line, we called it out that the Hornets were leading 9. They were 9 of 9 from the free throw line, while the Pistons were 4 of 6. Do you know where this thing sits at the halftime as we kind of go through these stats at the half? Where the Pistons are now 11 of 12 from the free throw line, and the Hornets are still just 9 of 9. So the Hornets taking this approach of just behind the arc. Early in the game, I thought that they were playing more physical and more aggressive. Mm-hmm. And then halfway through that first quarter, you saw them switch to from behind the arc. That was always the game plan. But I think that sometimes the Pistons can get you a little flustered and playing outside of yourself. Yep. Then as they settle back into what their game plan is, what they know they can try and utilize to beat the Pistons, well, you see them go on a little flurry. When they put LaMelo Ball in there, we talked about it. Yeah. They're gonna go through some type of a slowdown. Where's that slowdown gonna come? It's gonna come through LaMelo Ball, seeing everybody around him hitting some shots, and then what do you see LaMelo Ball doing? Going out there shooting them one-leggers.
Yep.
Some of them go down, some of them don't. But you notice the offense just seemed to bog down just a little bit. Yep. They take them out the game, and what do the Pistons do? There was a quick blip where there was a couple threes that went in for the Hornets, and since then, the Pistons have absolutely taken control of the game from a scoring standpoint. And for me, it's interesting because I feel almost as if the Pistons have control the entire game, despite the fact that we've seen the Hornets be hot from behind the arc. What have they done really well this game other than that? They're turning the ball over. You know what I mean?
Not great
other
defense.
than hitting the ball, shooting from outside, they're getting pummeled in points in the paint right now.
Yep.
The Pistons are leading that 32-10. The Pistons are leading fast break points 10-2. The Pistons are leading the total turnover battle 4-9. They're leading the points off turnovers 12-5. There's not much. They're winning the rebound battle 22-17. When they were once tied at like 5-5 offensive rebounds apiece, the Pistons added a couple more while the Hornets haven't done really much of anything. If that three wasn't falling for them, including that lucky one at the end of the first quarter, there's not much going for the Hornets. But the reason why I stopped just short of that, of saying that that's the recipe, is because this is how the Hornets win. They're not an upstart team that just so happens to have a good night from behind the arc like we saw the Pistons have. What was that, a game or two ago where they hit 41% from behind the field?
Right.
This is a Hornets team who this is what they do. They shoot threes, and they got really good three-point shooters. You said it too, organizationally, they set up that way. And what did you see happen from the GM on down to the coaching? They went and identified those players as well.
Yes.
So what you see from the Hornets is how they're built to produce. But I do believe at the end of the day, you're going to see the physicality of the Detroit Pistons. Yep, that 32 points in the paint. You're going to see that ultimately be the reason why the Pistons walk away from here with a victory. Now, they got to continue to take care of the ball, though.
Yep.
No easy points to the Hornets. No second opportunities. No chances that were supposed to be your chances on offense going to the Hornets. Because the way that they're shooting threes right now, how many times have we seen them tonight, Platte, change the complexity of the game just like that? Either because they hit a couple threes or either because they missed a couple threes, and the whole complexity of the game completely changes.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what's going to be the key, man. Is those margins. The Pistons play margin basketball.
Yep.
And that's where they eat. That's where they win. And you're seeing it time and time again. This is a great example of that for the Detroit Pistons. I think this is a game where, again, this would be a big win if you get this, because this Hornet team is playing very well. And that's part of the reason why you can get you can respect this Hornets team right now, but you can also kind of feel confident about them going forward, is because, look, this is a team that's shooting the ball very well. And if you take that away, what else have they done against the Pistons?
Not much.
Exactly. And so you got to believe that the Pistons
shoot really well,
the way they play, their physicality, man, like that's gonna wear on this team. But the Hornets are playing great basketball right now. They absolutely have a shot if they can come out of halftime still shooting the ball well from three. So Pistons are gonna have to. I like that you identified the rotations. The rotations are absolutely key. When that ball is swinging, hey, Pistons, you got the athletes. You got the athletes to get there. I don't want to hear excuses.
Then they have to not fall asleep, too. There's times where when they do play good defense through the first 2 to 4 passes, then all of a sudden, as soon as somebody goes ISO, like LaMelo will start to dribble between his legs, you'll see the entire Pistons defense just kind of get zoned out. Mm-hmm. That's the aspect that they have to be able to kind of get out of their system, filter out of their system. They go so hard in terms of playing 110% with their motor on all the time, except for in those situations. Even when they are over pursuing on the pass, I still see them giving their all.
Yep.
But there's times where when the team is just kind of floating around the outside, the team that they're defending, Ausar might step in just a little bit too close to the opposite side ball handler and leave his guy wide open on the opposite wing or opposite corner. So it's things like that I believe they got to be able to get together. And then obviously with Charlotte, they swing the ball very fast.
Absolutely.
That's intentional for them. They're one of the teams that do that very, very intentionally. The Warriors used to do that. Phoenix Suns used to do that. They try sometimes to get back to that. But as it relates to the Charlotte Hornets, they understand that their guys only need a blip of space, and it could be bottom of the nets. And we've seen that tonight. So, you know what? I also, though, aside from just this game, Hornets-Pistons, I know we talked a little bit after the trade deadline or the trade of Jaden Ivey, but we didn't really get together after the trade deadline and talk. The Pistons, I think that they're still one of the teams that are better suited. It was interesting to see teams make moves to try and counter or ready themselves up for the Pistons. I thought that the Boston Celtics move was directly related to the fact the Pistons beat them the frick up in the middle in those couple games. They just handled them.
Absolutely.
And when you saw some of the things that happened in this East, it just was like, yo, it's pretty interesting to see teams make moves to try and keep up with the Pistons, who we believe they need to go out there and make these major moves. Think about it. We think the Pistons need to do more. You know what the Celtics thought? The Celtics thought,
we need to
do more. That's what I'm saying.
That's
so
true.
that was an interesting wrinkle to this deadline for me. The Pistons got a ton of internal growth, and they got the right snag as it relates to Duncan Robinson, who's been absolutely in fuego from behind the arc over the last, 20 games this season. So
Besides today, Kool-Aid.
besides
He's
today,
getting it the old-fashioned
we
way.
give him,
0 for
we
1.
give him, we give him a night.
Well, he's getting it the old-fashioned way. He's I believe 10 points all by twos.
0 for 1 from
Shout
3,
out.
though. Not like he's chucking a lot.
Yeah.
Again, and that's another thing, too, is this Piston team, man, they're disciplined.
They know themselves.
They're disciplined to fully understand their identity and lean into it and be malleable in that sense. Like, they are not, I mean, we pointed out several times during this stream, LaMelo had those it's my turn moments.
Leggers, like,
You don't see it. You don't see it with this Piston team, man. But shout out this Charlotte team, man. This is a very fun game to watch. I'm not gonna lie. So I appreciate it, especially because it's two contrasting styles, and this is really something that the Pistons can hit the film room a lot about, and they can really have a lot of takeaways from this game because of just this is your biggest weakness, 3-point shooting. A great 3-point shooting team. So it's been a fun matchup for them so far, and right now they lead it by 4. Right now, the old school way is winning. All the unks in the chat, all the granddads in the chat are very happy. They didn't have a 3-point line when they played. They didn't have a 3-point line when they played. This is all just kid stuff. They look at Steph Curry as goofy, silly.
I'm glad that the Pistons are showing that their way is something that can actually win. You have teams that say, "Oh, we're physical, we're this, we're that. We play in the paint first, brah," and they aren't really backing that up as it relates to success or wins. With the Pistons, it's a little bit different. When I look at number one seeds of the past or top teams of the past who haven't quite been able to have the same bite that they had during the regular season through the playoffs, like the Cavaliers, I didn't think that was a J.B. Bickerstaff issue. I told y'all that right away. Being around this game is different. Getting to ask these players questions, being in the rooms, talking to scouts, talking to people who are around this stuff 24/7, and this is what they live, is different when you hear them say, and I told y'all this, a source told me Donovan Mitchell was more the issue. Those guys were pushing back on who J.B. Bickerstaff was as a hard A. Let's just be for real about it. Mm-hmm. To the point that you had Ty Jerome F up his own free agency.
Yeah.
What happened first? The agent always leaks the Pistons are rumored to have interest in Ty Jerome. Ty Jerome would love to this. But then you go back, and who was talking crazy out their neck? It was Ty Jerome. Yeah. And so it's like when I look at this Pistons team and the way that they're built and put together, I asked J.B. Bickerstaff about that, the contrast between, some of the teams you've been with and what made you say, you know what? I was about to take the family on a vacation of a lifetime when I got the call from the Pistons, and that was something that I jumped at. Mind you, he's been in the Central Division. Mind you, he knew the pedigree of our young players. Mm-hmm. He said, I already knew what Cade Cunningham was. Come on, brother. Like, I asked him, did you have some idea what you was going to do with, with Jalen Duren? Yeah. What are you talking about? He looked like a kid that was in a candy shop. Like somebody finally got him the Tonka toy, that truck that he had been asking for Christmas after Christmas after Christmas. And I get it now. Because what's happened in this time here? Evan Mobley has gone from what to what? And Jalen Duren has gone from what to what? Yeah. Just in his time here. There's a different level of nasty that we see these Detroit Pistons playing with, because I believe that those players are cut from the same cloth that a J.B. Bickerstaff is. You see some of these other teams, they're not as physical. They're not as tough. So when I do look at the Pistons, I sometimes I wonder, man, are they going to have enough for the playoffs? There's some teams whose defense transcends and actually makes a difference to how a game goes. And I believe this young Pistons team is honestly starting to forge that. I really do. Their physicality is a difference maker to me. Their ability to play defense in multiple different ways is a difference maker to me. And that's why it kind of peeves me. And I probably complain about it even maybe a little too much, or who knows, Because when we seen them go down, it's because they haven't been able to have the proper rotations on those 3-point shots. I think they figure that out, and this Pistons team is going to be in a really, really, really good position this playoffs because not many teams are matching their physicality or their ability to score in the paint.
That's a fact.
Number one team last year, they're probably going to be the number one team again this year at points in the paint.
Absolutely. I know the Hornets, last I checked, were right there with them. I think they might have even been leading.
Hornets
them.
are sneaky physical.
Yeah, they really are.
For a good outside shooting team, they got a couple guys who are those kind of try-hard, all-motor guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking up the NBA team stats right now to see. I'll get you a word on that, but I think we kind of hit the keys right for the second half. Is just continue to make sharp rotations defensively, continue to be physical, and limit the turnovers. I think if you do those things, I think this Piston team can hold on.
Yeah,
against
and continue
Charlotte.
to control the game physically. I know sometimes the physical aspect of the game can get a little jarred based on if a team is hitting their outside shots, but still continue, still strive.
All right,
you know,
let's see here.
That's kind of what I want to see out of this team. I don't want to see them go out there in this second half, and if there's a couple threes or a run that they go on, then the Pistons just say, oh, it's just not our night. Because that's what I saw in the eyes of that Pistons team when they were playing the Wizards. And you would see the squad, no, you know what? We're going to continue to go out here and pound away. Against the Wizards, it was just like, bro, this team is thrown in the towel. And you can tell they knew we are cooked. Against the Charlotte Hornets, I'm seeing a Pistons team that kind of looks like they don't want to have that Washington Wizards feeling again. Similar to how they looked when they played the New York Knicks. And they pulled away and really created some space in that game in the second half.
So
hopefully they do that here. Up 61-57 with 11:48 left to go as the second half begins.
I see by percentage that that New Orleans leads the Pistons in points in the paint by 0.1, but I'm trying to get total points. I'm trying to get eyes on that to see if they outrank points in the paint. Oh, here we go, straight up. Yep, points in the paint. They average 0.2 more than us right now. 57.1 for the Pelicans, 56.9 for the Pistons.
It's a lot of points in the paint. And you know what? Something tells me the Pistons
crazy.
are going to have that lead again by the end of the year. But the Pelicans, man, they got some pretty efficient paint guys.
Who knows what they're doing?
They got talent that just doesn't seem to fit.
It doesn't add up.
Yeah, like what are they doing? What are you doing, New Orleans? What are you doing right now? How do you have Zion on your team and this guy he walks on the court and can easily put up 50 points to, you fast forward 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and now what? Like, how long has Zion been in the league?
Yeah, it's true. He's been there a minute. You know the worst part about
freaking Zion.
About New Orleans, too, is they don't have their pick this year. They're just bad for nothing. Bad for no damn reason.
I can't wait till Trajan goes and finesses him for Derek Queen.
I like Derek Queen.
Just to do
I like
it.
Derek Queen.
Ain't
Joe
no
Dumars,
way.
hey, man.
Hey, Joe, Troy.
Joe can't.
Stuff into mouth.
That's the one player Joe can't give up.
Say
You
if
trade
he
that
gives
unprotected-
up Derek Queen, boy, ooh, this is gonna be a riot.
Brandon Miller gives the Hornets the lead 62-61 with, you guessed it, another three-pointer.
Yep.
That is just their only equalizer. And I ain't going to lie, I might have gone up with my squad, Summit Romulus Summit Academy in high school, to the Grosse Hill tournament. We knew we were more physical, and they sauced us from behind the arc.
Yeah.
Absolutely worked us. We won the first game of the tournament, matched up against Grosse Hill, and them boys would not miss anything. It was like freaking playing in a Pleasantville movie, but only we were playing the other team, bro.
Shout out Durham, man. What a beast.
See the patience, see the move.
Yeah.
And you know what I love? Look at where the ball is. From the moment he picks the ball up, he keeps it high.
Yes.
Those are some of the little small things he's changed from years past. And what does he do? Knocks down another free throw, man. I would be confident too. I would be hunting to get fouled. Straight up. And with Duran, he's not a guy that he's going to have to flop like that, man. He's a guy who just get into the paint, go up strong, and you're either dunking on somebody or you're getting fouled. Hey, Miles Bridges. He's been somebody flirted to the Pistons for a few years, and this trade deadline probably let you know that Trajan is actually not one of the ones that's going to be flirting with him.
Yeah.
I know Troy did. Troy had the offer prepared, and then all hell broke loose in that man's life. Shout out to Duncan Robinson with the and one off the floor.
Shout out to Duren for the hustle to save that loose ball.
And I know Jeff was we're trying to figure out when Duncan Robinson's going to start knocking out some threes, but you got to be happy with the fact that Duncan Robinson is showing he's more than just a one-trick pony. He's getting into the that's what I'm talking about. You see his hand?
Yeah. I see that.
With
that. Slick.
The finger roll, man. Come on, dog. Like, I like Duncan Robinson. 12 points on 6 of 8 shooting. And he misses the free throw.
I called for that signing before it even happened. I was like, that is the guy you go get. And people were not on board with that at first, and he's having a career year. Shout to Duncan Robinson.
He's
man.
a better defender than people want to give him
Yep.
credit for. I think he's one of those defenders who he's not a ball hog defender like Ron Holland and Asar, but he's a guy who understands how to stay in his. There you go, right? And he knows how to be in his place.
Yep.
Maintain his defensive integrity.
Yep.
And in football, I think they call it like stuff like gap integrity.
Yep. Exactly.
He understands. Don't get beat. Don't get blown by. Don't be the weak link. It may happen from time to time.
Get that big dog rebound.
Look at the matchup.
Just throw it up there during somewhere. Throw it up there during somewhere, Tobias.
See that? You see how out of position they were on that three?
Yeah.
They have to fix that. Like, what the heck?
That's
Miles Bridges is wide open, chilling, bro, with 2 players running out at them. Like, I'm gonna try and get it with I'm gonna probably get with Kool and go through some of this foot. Wow, Jalen Duren hitting turnaround fadeaways from the free throw line.
Hey, hold up, I'm not there.
My fault.
No.
My fault.
Hold up.
He was looking for the foul.
I'm calling JD this play. I think he needs a bucket. There we go. There we go. Shout out Jalen Duren. No, but man, he has been awesome this game. He has been absolutely awesome this game.
It's been a merger of the keys, bro.
Let's see what the chat's talking about.
We gave the people some keys to the game. Jeff wanted to see an aggressive Cade in the first half. You wanted to see Jalen Duren be a difference maker. We wanted to see the Pistons. We said if the Hornets were going to have a chance, it was going to be 3. Everything right now is being a factor.
Listen, Still I rise. 2K26 said, I'm an unk. I'm not happy. Shout out. Love the unks,
Listen,
man.
I'm always
Unks are my favorite people. I got a lot of unks in my life, man.
Hey, everyone needs them. But you know what? I'm always going to want to see Jalen Duren go absolutely crazy.
Yeah, no, it's fun. There is something fun about watching another human being just physically dominate another human being.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's just like, you know, no one can check him, and he knows that, and I just want him to like completely exploit that.
Yeah. I agree. Let's see what else the chat. MJ should have never traded him away. That's facts. Yeah, that's another thing. Duren too. Yeah, this is a revenge game for Duren. Yeah. You want to call it that? No,
Shout out to Brendan Balmer. I see you in the chat,
yeah.
bro. He says the Duren turnaround jumper is so nasty. Duffel expansion. I like that, man. The bag of Jalen Duren has been something to watch this year because this guy is not just doing things that we hoped he could do. He's just going out there and doing things. And I'm just like, whoa. Turnaround jumper from the free throw line?
Yeah.
That's in the bag too? Oh, wait, you're going to walk down your defender from the top of the key and you're going to score at the rim? Okay, if you can do that, by all means.
I'm not gonna lie, Duren. I don't ever want to see a 3-point shot out of you. Like that. No, you are too physically dominant. You're too physically dominant to be letting defenses, because defenses will settle for that open 3. If they see Jalen Duren hanging out on the perimeter, a defense is very, very happy. Look at what he's doing to this team. And this is a kid. Jalen Duren's a kid.
Yep.
Crazy.
For as good as he's been here, especially in his third quarter, Cade's hot second quarter, he's still got them 19 points. He's still leading the Pistons.
He's still chilling. Tonight. Yeah, he's still chilling.
But that's the great thing. Both of them guys are going to be out in the West Coast in about a couple days for the NBA All-Star game. And you know what? People got mad at me, but last year I did this rankings, and we had real All-Stars versus fake All-Stars.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Tyler Herro is a fake All-Star. That's just what it is. Sue me.
True.
Evan Mobley, fake all-star. Sue me. Jalen Duren is not a fake all-star. He's going to be there for years to come. Cade Cunningham will be there for – what did Cade Cunningham do? From year one as a reserve voted in by the coaches to now I am the number one as it relates to players. What, number 2 in media, number 4 amongst fans. That's where I'm at, and I'm not going backwards. Those are the stars that the Pistons have.
Hey,
those are their stars.
Shout out LaMelo for saving that play. I mean, it ultimately resulted in a miss anyways, but wow.
You know what? But we talked about that. We went around, us three went around and said, how many big men can you say are better than Jalen Duren in the East right now? The only one person came to mind was Giannis.
And we said
he's not even a true center.
Him a big man.
Yeah.
I think he's more of a 3 trapped in a 7-foot body.
He really is.
Like he's a wing in my opinion.
Yeah, like 12, 15 years ago, he would have been a small forward.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, all the Lamar Odoms
in the 2000s,
and Corey Maggettis.
Yep.
Sean Marion was a little
maybe
shorter,
20
but
years ago.
those guys were exactly like that. What was Grant Hill? 6'6", 6'7"? Yeah.
Yeah, he'd have been in that for sure.
Oh my gosh, LaMelo Ball's style of play it's tough to watch sometimes, bro.
And
it's like your whole team is just sitting around. Brandon Miller's wide open.
But
look at Brandon Miller at the top of your screen, wide open.
Yeah.
And you know what? It was
And
tough.
LaMelo
It
was
was tough for so many years, Kool-Aid, to hear people say he was better than Cade Cunningham, and I just couldn't believe it.
Hold on.
I just
Bring
couldn't
me
believe
those
it.
people. Those people, and where
I
did Jalen
could
Green
not
support?
believe it.
Platte,
people.
Where have they gone? We fought that. We were on that front line. I remember your face there. Where are those Jalen Green supporters at? Where are those, LaMelo Ball and the Hornets? Yeah, shout out to Sean Murphy he was 10 toes deep like, nah, bro, there's something wrong here. There's something wrong here. He was going in. He was getting into it with Charlotte Hornets fans, and you look how this thing turns out. I don't think people understand. When I'm telling you, there are no fake all-stars over here. LaMelo Ball, fake all-star. Cute season. You got an all-star appearance. Andre Drummond, we used to have fake all-stars too. And I like Andre Drummond, but that's a fake all-star.
Yep.
That's a fake all-star. Cade and Duren are guys who you know are going to be your perennial guys. These are going to be guys that you're looking at the end of the season. You're saying, oh, not only did they make the all-star team, but these guys are in consideration for or are on all NBA teams.
Yes.
That's what these guys are. So they're going to have an opportunity, even when they're not shooting well, because of the pedigree of who they are, because of the star level of who these players are, to give themselves, swinging. Shout out to Uncle Tobias.
Let's see.
Oh my God, a fight broke out. Bro, hey, look, we don't condone harsh out spinning, whatever this thing is, but these guys are getting into it. The physicality of the Pistons, dog.
Tobias just unked him up.
That's what I said, Uncle Tobias, dog.
Oh my
I love this
God.
team. I love this team. They're still going.
You can find
They're
out.
still going. It's just a sea of black dirt. Look at Cade. This Pistons team, dog. Oh
This
my
is
God.
nuts.
This is crazy, dog.
Well,
Cade was like, this is why you'll be on the team right now.
I'm going to say this now.
Look at Cade walking around the court, dog.
It was a
This
good
team, dog.
It was a great thing that we had this game, but it is now going to be
God.
over.
That was an absolute.
Who got murked, though? Who's on the sideline?
That's Miles Bridges and Beef Stew.
Who got murked on the Hornets? So somebody
my
got
God.
walloped, bro. The whole Pistons team. Who got walloped like that?
Oh my God.
What the frick?
It is a full-time job talking Isaiah Stewart off the ledge.
Like 5 ejections right
Oh
now.
my God.
Like, there is going to be 5 players out this game
Don't
right
show
now.
up to the next game. They got a game Wednesday. You guys are going to be like out of there for some time.
Hey,
Who swung on
Diabate.
Duren, though?
I think it was Diabate. He was holding his hand. He might have
Duren
like.
went back like
Yeah,
this, and Tobias
that
was just like, headlock, boy.
Oh my God.
Goodness.
Wow.
Who got smacked, though? Somebody got, like, punished,
telling you,
dog. The whole Pistons team
Dog.
in these police uniforms.
Look at Kevin Herter, bro. He's just sitting there. Kevin Herter's like, this is what I got into.
Get this dude out of here. Who is this? Is
I
that
absolutely
Diabate?
love
Yeah.
how Cade is like,
Hey, he from here?
damn.
I don't know. I don't know
where's he
anything about
from?
him.
Who?
I don't know anything
Wait.
about him other than he's playing good basketball recently for
Who?
the Hornets. But Wow.
Diabate, where did he play?
Oh, I don't know where he's from.
I think he actually got hurt.
Did
Oh,
he?
look at the Pistons on the sideline. Like who?
I think he actually hurt his wrist, bro. He
come
keeps
off?
like holding his wrist.
All of our players came off the bench who were not in the game, didn't they?
Oh,
I don't know.
Yeah, we about to be there.
We're gonna be here
Tolu
for
Smith?
Listen,
Bobby Clinton?
let's
B-ball Paul triple-double watch, baby.
I can tell you right now, Duran's gone, Stu's gone, Tobias is gone.
Gosh, dog.
Yeah. We're gonna have a few of them. Miles Bridges is gone.
What happened? Oh, so
Diabate
he's
is
mad
gone.
because Duran is just effing him up. That's what it is. Oh, Duran mushed him first. All right, Duran's going to get suspended.
Oh, he's gone. Yeah, I
Duran's
told you
getting
he's
suspended.
gone.
He swung at
Damn.
Duran.
He's gone.
Uncle Tobias, dog.
He's gone.
Uncle Tobias, dog.
Paul Reed, take your stuff off, start warming up.
Dog.
Dang, and
Uncle
and
Tobias
dang
is
it.
a
Bro,
real one.
he
Hold
just
on. No, look. Somebody got smacked, dog.
That was Jalen Duran definitely was like hand to the face.
Oh, that was Miles Bridges who got jumped by the whole squad. That was Stu came off the bench. That was who got smacked was Miles Bridges. I told you the whole team jumped somebody. Bridges got worked. Goodness.
Oh my God, Stu is real.
Miles Bridges
Dog.
swung at Duran.
Did y'all see the whole
Yeah.
squad?
And that was it. Stu was
y'all
like,
are
that's
behind
it.
me then.
Yeah.
Stu was like, that's it.
I knew someone got jumped. I didn't know who it was. It was Miles Bridges. That's why he's not on this team. They don't F with him. What the heck happened, dog?
Shout out
he
to the
swung
Spartan
on Duran
legends.
and Stu came out of nowhere.
That's crazy.
Watch this. So he swings on him. Watch the whole team. All the Pistons gang up on them, bro. Watch this. They all descend. That's wild, dog. What did he do to them that back? Even Cade is in there. What did we miss? Because I thought the Pistons was trying to trade for him for a few years. That's
Dude, he knew what time it was right when Isaiah was charging him.
what do you say, bro? This squad is they say what is that slogan? Together all the time.
Wow.
Platte?
This is crazy.
I'm glad we decided to stream tonight.
Oh my God.
Knew we were gonna stream, but
This is I mean, honestly, I haven't seen a brawl like that in a minute. That was you're right, Jeff. That is multiple suspensions loading. That is for both teams. Yeah. Wow. This is gonna
Bridges and Diabate, get them out of here. Like there's just not.
they're for sure suspended.
In the chat,
It only kept growing because those guys want to keep coming out here. Your own team not fighting for you.
in the chat's telling
What are
us
you doing?
4 ejections is coming.
But that's what I'm saying, though. Like, but I hope the NBA goes back and looks at this, okay? Your own team, Hornets, are not backing you up. Diabate and Miles Bridges, we're your homies. Y'all got pieced. Like, shout out Miles Bridges for at least jumping into Diabate, Jalen Duran mess.
Yeah.
But nobody jumped in for Miles Bridges.
Nobody.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and if they didn't keep escalating this thing, then it's just handled. But if they're going to be the ones that keep coming after the Pistons, what the frick you think they're going to do? Stu been telling y'all I'm ready to go.
He's
You're
been
literally
ready.
coming up in here and doing what? And you're going to swing not once, but twice, and then 3 times at Jalen Duran. What did you think was going to happen?
Absolutely.
Shout out
and
to
they're-
Frank BJ in the
All right,
in the chat.
Again, there was a
Diabate
he says Bad
ejected,
Boys is back.
Bridges ejected, Jalen Duran ejected, Isaiah Stewart ejected. Those are probably your suspensions. It'd be interesting to see how the league handles the guys getting off the bench.
Yes.
Because it wasn't just him. You got your Sasses and all them guys. The whole squad.
I feel
bro.
like as long as
I'm proud of this team.
I feel like
you
as
don't
long
wanna
as
see them
they didn't
F
throw a
up.
punch, they're going to be good because of the fact the league is going to say, "Oh, they were trying to hold them back." That is what my guess is going to be.
Tobias is going to be fine. Look at Duran with the Detroit jersey.
Tobias was playing Peacemaker for sure.
Oh, now
Dude,
this
Kevin
becomes
Huerter
a
was
different
just standing
game.
there.
I tell you
There was
what.
there was a moment where Kevin Huerter was looking and he was like, what the hell did I get myself into?
This is how we roll.
Listen,
bro.
shout out to at Freight
Look at
Freight
Darren,
Train
let
J
them
in the
know,
chat. He
Detroit.
sent a super chat in. Bad boys.
Shout out, man.
Look at Cade, dog.
Shout out the
We
chat.
got David Cade over there, dog.
It's like
I like this stuff. I'm
This is-
sorry.
This
I'm
is
sorry.
nuts.
I
Bro,
wanted
I'm
to see
The whole
speechless.
team jumped Miles Bridges, bro. Like, what the frick? Come on, dog.
Listen, but what I wanted to see though, I wanted to see Duran continue to destroy them, and now that is taken
Look at
away.
JB, bro.
That's
JB's
taken
face
away
is
now.
pissed. JV's face is pissed, dude.
Well, and then
Grant Williams, that was somebody that I
they
expected
took their
to be in the
centers out,
scrimmage.
right? They took the
Yeah.
physicality, right? The equalizer for the Pistons tonight. This is going to be interesting.
Hey, B-Ball Paul's not no hoe. They're gonna learn. They're gonna learn to speak. They're gonna learn to speak B-Ball Paul. They're gonna learn. Hey, and you know what? They're lucky they didn't have Ron Howland tonight either.
Oh,
That's
my.
another suspension that would have happened.
You know what? From the bench, because he probably would.
Miles Bridges might have been dead.
Ron Howland would have been suspended for 5 games. For
Miles
sure.
Bridges might
For
have
sure.
died tonight if Ron Howland was here.
Have y'all ever seen this?
Because you can't take on Stu and
listen,
Ron Howland.
But when have you seen a team jump a player?
And what did we see D-Mac say in the chat? He loved it. He loved it.
Shout out.
Shout out to D-Mac.
Oh my God. 104. Yeah, our numbers definitely jumped after that.
Dog, I'm feeling easy right now. Like, bro, I ain't never seen
again,
one guy.
Bobby
The whole
Clinton.
team jump one guy.
Bobby
dog.
Clinton.
Let's have a good discussion right here, right now.
This
When
is
these
funny.
fines roll out, is Tom Gore's going to pay them?
Everybody's. This is what you want.
Yep.
If I'm Tom Gordon, I'm throwing T-shirts around my room right now. I'm like T-shirt tossed to all. I've got the T-shirt cannon going crazy in my underwear right now. If I'm Tom Gores, are you kidding me? I'm out here like yes.
Oh my
Yes,
God.
30 for 30. He's sitting here looking at the
That
future
was
30
crazy.
for 30.
And you know what?
Now.
Tobias is extra motivated today because, he's in Charlotte.
3-point shot.
J. Cole
for
just dropped the
LaMelo.
album. That's his
65-71.
doppelganger. It all
Got
makes
us a game.
sense.
It is going to be interesting to see how this Pistons team, though. That's the thing, though, is you took out your enforcers if you're Charlotte. You don't have no enforcers left. Those were your guys. I mean, well, Grant Williams, I'll throw in that conversation, absolutely. I could see him definitely stirring things up when he's in.
Let's go, Paul Reed. Answers right back with a 3.
I told you, you're going to learn to speak B-ball Paul. You're
Platte
going to learn to
quality
speak
first.
B-ball Paul.
All right, they're getting in the middle. They're attacking the middle now. This is interesting. Duncan Robinson for 3. Let's go. They're really going to make the rest of this game very interesting.
Oh, this is going to be. I mean,
This
it
is
was
about to
already
be
an
it's about to
interesting
be it,
game.
man.
This is
Hey, let's
going to be
rock
a
it.
good game. This is going to be a good game. 7-point lead.
Shout out
it's
to my
10-point
family,
lead.
man, down south.
Yes.
Yep,
I got a lot of family down in North
I'm
Carolina.
going to check in with my cousin. I'm going to check in. I'm going to be like, hey,
Man, my
you
whole
good
wife's
over there?
part of the family
You
from
good?
North. I stayed there for. What do you think? It's 7:04 in this thing, man. A year and a half. I had to go get a 313 phone too. I got 2 phones. Don't even use a 313 but I got to get it. I got a lot of people who I do not need hitting me up tonight. I don't
my
need my
God.
Charlotte folks hitting me up.
Rando Small says, I want to go to the bar and et cetera, et cetera. Shout out,
This is so I'm pumped up right now, dog.
shout out to Rando Small, man. Shout out to the chat.
Sheesh. I'm standing
Shout
up.
out to the chat, man.
Unfortunately, I think the league is going to come down with a pretty harsh
Oh, they will.
suspension for
Absolutely, it's
especially
Detroit.
from Pistons players because of the fact that we've already been kind of branded and labeled as that team.
For sure.
So I feel like they're going to go down hard, especially on Beef Stew.
It's funny. We're not branded to have MVPs. We're not branded to.
at
We're
the
not
bench.
branded to win regular season awards. But we're branded as the bad boys. We're branded as this. We're branded as a bunch of bandits, a bunch of thugs. So
Yeah.
I can't wait to see how this ruling is going to come down because I know it's Detroit versus
go,
everybody.
Cade.
I know that's going to be a real
They're
punishment.
playing different, yeah.
It's going to be a real punishment.
Bench looking real light over there.
You see
Yeah.
it, and you don't like to see Dan that's holding the towel on his knee as well. That's what you don't want to see.
Yeah.
You don't want to see, especially if they're going to be a little light, because you have to think about what their schedule is here. They got a little game here before the All-Star break, but they come right after All-Star break on national TV. And who are they playing?
The Knicks.
The Knicks.
Of course. Of course.
The league pushed the button, dog.
They had to make
Diabate, get underneath
Listen,
Jalen
the
Duren's
back-to-backs weren't enough. It wasn't enough of an advantage for New York to play the
wouldn't-
Pistons both
Have
times
we
on
had-
back-to-back.
Have we had Duren at all
Wait a
this
minute.
year against the
No
Knicks?
Duren.
I wouldn't say that
probably gonna
Diabate
stay
got
true.
underneath the skin of Jalen Duren. I would say that Jalen Duren got underneath the skin of Diabate.
I mean, he
Because
face
of the
mushed
fact
him,
that
though, dog.
Yeah,
Jalen
way
Duren was
fan.
absolutely
Shout
Jalen
out.
Duren was just like, hey, bro.
Well, you don't. Hey, sometimes it's like that. You know, you can't get into a man's face like that.
Buddy,
Yeah.
tell me, that's like a punch in the NBA.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I ain't
How
gonna
many
lie.
swings did we see not connect?
If you played ball,
Bridges
if,
slapped
listen,
Duren?
If you play
that
ball
was
at all,
clean that
After
dodge
that-
from Durant. That was clean. That first.
But then how many punches did we see land after that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep saying
but you
this.
know what? He
I have
dodged
never
twice.
seen-
Because Diabate missed, and then Miles Bridges got he went
He
the
got
game for,
kind of
for
like
the chin,
a little-
and he got the chest,
And then what happened after that?
and then Stu came out.
That just threw y'all go back and look at that on replay. I'm gonna keep
Hey,
saying
man,
it. The
I'm
whole
just
team
saying-
jumped one guy. I have never seen that in the NBA.
The only person I saw throw a punch was Karis LeVert.
You right.
NBA.
You right.
Adam Silver. Cade.
Why would you do that to your favorite player?
Cade.
Cade
that
is
baby
cooking
to
right
foul.
now, dog. Cade is cooking
Oh, yeah,
right
he's
now.
fired up.
Yeah.
He's fired
Cade
the
is
fuck
about
up.
to take
Cade
this
is cooking
game
right
over.
now, dog.
You know what?
I like this.
What is crazy is the fact that this game may overshadow, because of the altercation, is going to overshadow an absolutely beautiful performance by Cade Cunningham.
Yeah, because you
and
came in.
he's not done yet. So there's more to it, and it's going to be overshadowed by the altercation.
This is the hottest team in the NBA right now. You came in their trap and you beat them, assuming those things hold. So if you're Detroit, it's unfortunate that the takeaway is going to be the brawl. But the Pistons are up double digits on a team that's won 9 games in a row in their home floor.
And this run has come after.
Look at that. They're ice cold.
They took out Isaiah Stewart and Beef Stew.
Yep.
I mean, and
Jalen Durant.
Durant. And shout out Paul Reed, man.
And you know
Shout out
what?
Reed. B-ball
The physicality hasn't gone nowhere yet.
That's why you need 3 centers, because you know Stu's getting suspended at least once. You need 3 centers.
Facts. What up, though, bro?
This triple-double watch for Cade.
It is.
Yeah.
I
It
mean,
is. Look at Dana.
you seen him grab another board, and he's probably going to be playing for most of the game.
Is Dennis coming in for Cade? Please don't be coming in for Cade. I want to see them in the backcourt together.
Looks like he's coming in for
You're
Duncan.
going to have a lot of versatility coming up. No, it's honestly,
Have you guys-
looks like most of the suspensions are going to be the front court.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can see Ron Holland at the 5 tomorrow.
Yeah, Tolu Smith, you're getting called right back up, buddy.
Yep.
No,
Bobby Clipman.
don't even worry.
Bobby Clipman
We'll need
might
ya.
see some minutes. Yeah. It's
They're
it's
hitting free throws, man.
Did you guys speak at all on Dennis Jenkins?
Oh,
at
yeah.
the beginning?
oh yeah
Yeah, man.
yeah
say
we
what
did.
you
Man.
gotta say, man. He just entered the game.
That is
Him and Cade are in the backcourt together, man. This
that's
is dope.
like the best situation you could ask for.
Let's go. Let's go. They better call the foul. Who was that just stripped up LaMelo Ball and then he wants to go and try and tackle him at half court and still talking junk? You got ripped up, LaMelo.
Oh yeah.
It's
what?
okay. You got ripped up. Paul Reed. Let's go, B-ball Paul. What did you say people going to learn to speak by the end of this game?
B-ball Paul.
There you go.
It's
look
his
at
own
him just
language.
grab him and throw him. Now, if that was Stu, we might have another brawler on
That was an injection.
But Paul Reed got
Yeah.
a little bit more self-control, maybe.
To a
Shout out,
point.
dog.
Look at that. He literally just throws them. That's crazy.
To a point.
Just throw him. Just say,
But I would say for Dennis's contract, like that's such a beautiful contract for the Pistons. Like you can't ask for a better contract than that.
yeah.
I mean, it's a beautiful
That
contract
is
for
a
Dan
beautiful-
Jenkins.
I'm
Yeah,
happy
it
for
is.
him.
It is. But for the Pistons,
million
like,
is life-changing.
To have someone that can, that can come off the bench and provide a spark in both ways, whether that's as a playmaker or as a scorer, and under that contract, like that is beautiful. That is excellent work by Trajan Landon.
I'm not going to lie. This lineup actually is defending the outside shot pretty well, even though Knipple just hit one, but they were at least in the right position.
Listen,
I like the way they're at least rotating, but
you can't hold down
Goodness
a shooter
gracious.
like that all game long.
that's one play. Bro, if Knipple was on this squad. Let's go, Pistons.
Yeah, Knipple.
Karis
What a
LeVert,
dog.
wide open 3 from Cade. Oh, it rims out. Hit every part of the rim. Golly.
The 3-point contest this year is going to be absolutely fireworks.
Yeah. Dame Lillard playing on a torn Achilles, the 3-point contest. That's fun.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I ain't mad at it.
You ain't got to jump too much, Chris.
I ain't mad at it. He's probably good. He's probably good as far as his rehab goes. He's probably quite a bit in it.
He
He's-
has to be close to
Yeah.
coming back because he tore.
I mean, he
his-
won't come back this year, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely not.
I mean, honestly, maybe
he
maybe
could if he wanted
could.
to, but
he could. Portland's in the playoffs. They're gonna make the playoffs, or at least the play in. Yeah, they're going to be in at least the play-in. Where are they at standing-wise? Hold on, let me double-check that. I think they're like 8 or 9. Or I think they're 10, actually. But I think that the teams that are below them are all tanking. Something crazy like that.
Yeah, B-Ball Paul is balling.
Yep, they're 10.
He has no choice.
Memphis,
Where
Dallas,
did he
Utah, New Orleans, Sacramento are all tanking. So, yeah, Portland, congratulations. You're a play-in team. No, that's crazy. That's crazy, too. Adam Silverman, he's got to – listen. Hey, Adam, forget about this. Forget about it. You got so much other problems on your hands right now.
Your ratings just went up.
You got Utah Jazz. You got the Utah Jazz with a 10-point lead, benching their entire starting lineup just to lose.
Point shaving.
Literally point shaving. And then you have God knows what's going on in Indiana. God knows what's going on in what's it called? Where are the other places? Washington. Yeah, Washington.
Yeah, they're forgettable.
Like yeah. And then you got Sacramento Kings at the bottom. They said we deserve to win because we're just purely ass.
Sacramento,
like,
dog. You talk
It's
about
like just
squad
ethical ass hoops.
Waste the best talent in the league. Goodness gracious. It's Sacramento.
Could Indiana Pacers really have done the Pistons a favor by doing that move for Zubac?
I can't believe that's the biggest L on the Pelicans. So remember, the Pelicans didn't have their pick this year. They went and got back. Indiana got back 2 days before Tyrese tore his Achilles. They got back their pick. That saved their season.
Yeah,
because that pick was going to be unprotected to I think New Orleans. I'm pretty sure it was New Orleans, and Indiana got their pick back. That sucks, dude. They're going to be so good next year. They got Zubac. They got a top 5 pick loading.
Well, it's protected, isn't it?
No.
Now, because of the trade?
No, it's entirely Indiana's. No matter what.
They threw that in the trade, but it was like weird protections on it.
No. Oh, maybe they did just that. They changed it from.
It was like.
But they got their pick back.
And I think it was like after the lottery and up to 30.
Originally they did that.
30.
They did that trade because they needed to get that pick back specifically so they could package multiple picks to make a big move. They were actually going to make a big swing. And then the second Halliburton tore his Achilles, they were like, well, we got a tank. And they went and got Zubac. They paid a hefty price for Zubac.
That's what I was thinking.
But that was the type of move they wanted to make. That's why they got that pick back. Not because they thought they were going to be bad or because they knew what was going to happen. But, man, a stroke of just amazing good fortune for Indiana. Pistons up 86-72.
Randall Smalls with the super chat. Detroit Grit, next man up. He's right. It's going to be next man up for Wednesday's game as well. Wednesday's game is going to really be next man up.
Speak B-ball, Paul.
You are.
And Tolu Smith.
Hell, you might learn to speak Chris Platty. You might learn to speak Chris Platty. They don't got a lot of options.
Look at the Pistons defense. Look at that man-to-man defense right now. Stay up pressed.
We might see Spartan Dog
Stay up
Jaden Akins
pressed.
up.
Let's go. Stay up pressed. Let's go! Oh, they called the foul. I'm loving what the Pistons are giving us right now, bro. Absolutely loving it. Absolutely loving it.
Yeah, that's great. Dude, Cade is loving this.
I don't know if that was a
Cade
foul.
is loving this. Dude.
I don't know if that
JV
was a
is
foul.
loving this. Every time you cut to any of these players, their faces, they're so locked into this game. This game is like,
Bro, we got a whole
you'd swear they're playing New York. They are so locked in. This is great.
Look at Danis. Oh, is that Karras, actually?
Yes, they didn't call the foul.
Wow.
They switched it.
It's a good move. That was a good move, actually.
Let's see.
That's a Karras move.
Let's see. I'm about to watch that. Oh, yeah. That's a beautiful move.
Dang, they got hit right back with the same type of move.
Dang it. You can't talk good about Karis LeVert. Chris doesn't like that.
No, you can. Hey, look, I would love to be wrong, but I was first there, and do I look right or do I look right? That man stinks.
Is he better than Herter?
Is he better than Herter? Right now.
That had to hurt to say, huh?
We haven't seen Herter.
Wait. No, here's Kevin Hurt on the fast break.
We haven't seen him unlocked.
He passes it to Karis LeVert, and he gets it back from Karis LeVert, I think. And he misses.
Damn it. You are ahead of me, so I was getting excited.
Come on, dog.
Man, that's a wide open shot, too. Come on, Herter.
Telling you, I don't know what it is, but he hasn't been able to make not one 3-point shot in Detroit yet.
I know.
As in a Detroit uniform.
I know. Duncan started off cold, though, like
he
I
hit
said.
a midi.
Duncan started off
Just a
cold, so
three
we'll
ball.
see.
Not that cold.
Not that cold, yeah.
With this lineup, I almost rather see.
That was crazy. LeVert wasn't even looking
Nobody
for the
got
ball.
the
He was
rebound.
just pushing him.
I would rather see Dennis Jenkins just act like it's his world and everybody else is going to play off of him. It's 2 minutes left in the game.
That's what you're here for.
I don't need them to go in here and try and do too much. Like, I just, already in these couple plays that Cade Cunningham has sat down, I haven't really liked how the offense has looked.
Yeah, it's looked very stagnant, very
It has.
uncontrolled.
And that's why I'm like, Dennis, just do your thing, bro.
That's what you're here for.
That's why they gave you them bread.
Yeah.
What was Jay
Kevin Herter trade's been amazing.
That guy.
Relax. It hasn't even been a week, man. Give it time.
You get the bread.
At the end of the day,
when you get them chickens, bro, that's why you're paid to
Yeah.
perform. And that's what I mean. Like, if they're saying we're partnering with a number 5 overall pick and you're getting the bread, you got to step out there and play right now. The one thing we praise about Danis to this point is that at least within his roles where he's been asked to perform, he's been ready. So now when you're getting that much money, you got to be ready. That's more money than they gave Malik Beasley.
yeah, it's true.
You got to be right. That was,
Jeez.
I feel like, how much money were they going to give him? 3 years, what, 40?
Oh, they were going to give him
40 million or something like that?
Yeah, I think it was a little bit more than that, I believe.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah,
what I mean.
3 years, 42.
42 million?
Yeah, that was the whole 14 mid-level exception.
Yep, and when you look at it that way, you're looking at not too much more than what Danis is making right now. Just being real with you.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong.
Which, I mean,
I'm just saying, like, that's why
But
I'm like,
thing-
the
if he
expectation
is
has to be there.
cleared,
The thing
just
about the
saying,
Herter thing is it is disappointing if he doesn't, get it together. But ultimately, Ivy wasn't playing for you in the second halves right now. You did get a better first, so you do have the financial flexibility you got from Kevin Herter. Now, it wouldn't be a great trade. But, I mean, look, Ivy hasn't looked great in Chicago either. So if we're
I'm
keeping
not
it
even
fair.
comparing Ivy and Herter. I'm comparing Ivy and Danis. That's what I'm saying.
yes.
Dennis Jenkins is
Yes.
who I'm expecting to go out
Yeah.
there and lead
That's
the charge.
the
I'm not
comparison you have to
expecting
make.
Kevin
But
Herter to
and
do
to that
anything,
point,
bro.
though,
Yeah,
what-
because at the end of the day, like Kevin Herter might not be in your playoff rotation. There's a good chance he's probably not, honestly. Unless if he is, that's a great trade.
he is,
because
then it
Ivy
becomes
wasn't
really
going to
good.
be in your playoff rotation.
if he is,
He was your 11th
he's
man.
forced
He
to
wasn't
be
in your
there.
second half rotation right now. So, like, I get it. I get how the optics look on the trade, but,
Oh,
yeah.
no, for me, I'm beyond that. It's like the trades happen. Now the
Yeah.
people who have to be dependent on, you have to be. They didn't make this trade to depend on Kevin Herter. They made this trade because there's a guy named Danis Jenkins, among others, who have proven capable of the responsibility. And that's where if they're going to do something like this as the Pistons head to the fourth quarter up 10 points, 88-78 over the Charlotte Hornets, that's where you would like to see a guy like a Danis Jenkins be that guy, be as reliable. We know Paul Reed, Javonte Green, we know what these guys can do when they come into the game, but a lot of these players are used to playing off of a playmaker or off of a creator, and you want to see Danis Jenkins be able to continue to be that guy consistently when Cade sits down. That's what's plagued this Pistons team for some time as well. We talk about some of the things they don't do well. Well, one of the things we've been chasing forever is who's going to be that partner with Cade Cunningham. Who is going to be able to relieve some of the ball handling duties? Who's going to allow Cade to be able to get extended rest when he needs it? Because realistically, in a game like this, it's been physical. They've been scrapping. You know what I mean? Literally on the court and during timeouts. Like this team, it's not like his legs are going to be the freshest as you get into the fourth quarter. These are games where you would like to know the Danis Jenkins we saw who went on his insanity run a little bit earlier in the season, that guy is still the guy you could depend on when you need the most. And I do believe that's Danis Jenkins. He plays under control. You don't really see him going out there and making too many mistakes. And if he does, you generally see him come back and clean it up. He can get into the paint really well. And so I'm pleased with Danis Jenkins. You just want to see him be, when the offense starts to wane a little bit, you want to see him go out there and be just that much more assertive, because I believe you can trust in Daniel Jenkins. Really do.
Yeah. I think
It's
he,
his
I think
job
he's
now.
shown you. Again, he has shown up in every pressure point. You look at Daniel Jenkins' career so far. I know it's short, but typically you don't have trust in a lot of young guards to play well in the playoffs. That's a level of basketball that they've never been to. Dennis Jenkins has had playoff basketball pressure for the last several months. Like when he got that start against Washington, that was his chance in the NBA. A lot of two-way guys, you don't get more than one chance. Hell, a lot of two-way guys don't even get that one chance. Dennis Jenkins got a chance. He hit a shot to force overtime that ultimately helped the team win the game. He played great during that stretch. He helped the Pistons elevate and continue that win streak. So he's been playing pressure basketball because if he doesn't get it, if he doesn't make those opportunities, if he doesn't do the right things in those moments, then he is not in the NBA. So he's been playing pressure basketball. He's been playing playoff basketball for quite some time now. So honestly, more and more times he's stepped to the plate. He's proven himself, and he's given me every reason to not doubt him coming into the playoffs. I did want a veteran guard like Dennis Schroeder, somebody that had world stage experience, somebody that had high-level playoff experience. That's the type of guy you want in those environments, just because, no offense to Dennis Jenkins, he's never been there. But what I failed to realize is that this guy, Dennis Jenkins, has been playing pressure basketball his whole NBA career. He has been grinding and fighting for this spot, and maybe I need to trust him more. Maybe this is a guy that can come into playoffs, his first playoffs, and have impact with a large role. Maybe he will.
This is interesting. The Pistons actually bring Cade Cunningham back to start the fourth quarter, so he gets a little bit of a breather, I would assume. In about 4 minutes, they're going to let him go and get his traditional break and then try and keep him out until 5 or 6 minute mark if they can. Again, the Hornets, as good of three-point shooters they are, they do have some people that can operate in the paint as they get a oop. To close the gap, the Pistons lead to 88-80 with 11:13 left in the fourth quarter. Cade is on the court with Tobias, Karis LeVert. Kevin Huerter's out there as well as Paul Reed. So this is going to be a long night for Paul Reed. But it's interesting when you talk about exactly what when you think about what Danis has done this year. It's interesting to see how he just completely swagger jacked somebody else's timeline. Yeah. You got literally Killian Hayes, who was the number 7 overall pick in the NBA draft, coming here to Detroit as supposedly the first pick of the restore to get things changed over, right? And now you have him going to the G League All-Star Showcase while Dennis Jenkins is earning an NBA contract. What a switch. Yeah. Like, that's just amazing when you kind of think about that. And
what a miss.
Not just earning a contract. Well, I've seen other guys getting signed. Dennis, to me, is one of those better guys who at this deadline for your two-way players, if you're going to sign them or effectively let them be G Leaguers that can get picked up by other teams, Dennis Jenkins, to me, is one of the best of those players who got signed during this time. So,
and we see that a lot. We see that a lot when the NBA they don't like when you have older players coming out of college.
Yeah.
So if they like the young prospects that they can kind of
sell.
mold and have for the longevity portion of it. But it's like when you can get someone like Dennis Jenkins who comes in and who has played a lot of basketball and is calm under pressure, like
Cade,
you could see that in his game.
Let's go, Cade.
They get a three, and then they force an air ball from behind the arc by the Hornets, and you see Cade full court. A little bit too fast. I get what Cade's trying to do. I would probably, I don't know, man. I feel like Karis LeVert could have caught that, but you got to know who your personnel is. I probably would have pulled that one out a little bit, but it's dope to see Cade tonight got the shot going a little bit after that 1-7 start from the first quarter. This is what he is, guys. Look, there's going to be nights when he's actually able to have that 1-7 look a little bit better. But tonight, it took him a little bit to get going, and it's good to see Cade still going. 27 points, 7 assists for Cade. He's still on triple-double watch. B-Ball Paul, man, from a physicality standpoint and a savvy standpoint, is doing his thing. Now, they're getting up in his face. There's no need to get in his face. Y'all good on that. B-Ball should be getting a couple free throws here, right? Or did the foul come on the back down?
Yeah, I don't think he was going up on that.
Yeah, But, I mean, the Charlotte Hornets need to be careful here. I don't care if they are, but they're going to find themselves in the bonus or in the penalty really quickly. I think that's their second foul. This might be the third foul right here. Yeah. As I was saying, they need to be careful or they're going to find themselves in a penalty. They literally pick up another foul, it looks like.
Shout out to our boy Nick for stopping into the chat.
Shout out. Yeah. He's been on Kevin Huerter's ass. Yeah. He really was.
Yeah, he wants Kevin to hit a couple threes today.
Yeah. Shout out to Nick. Shout out to Tailgate Winner.
Smoked the layup, Asar. Come on.
Again, I do think that if you look at it, some players have started off cold. And, shooters are streaky anyways. His numbers this season are concerning. So maybe he has just lost his shot. But you do have almost 2 months to figure it out if you're Kevin Huerter. So I think that.
Then again, if he doesn't, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, it wasn't the end of the world.
It's not like you expect him to be in that position.
It would really suck, though, if you got nothing from the deadline that helps you this season with the East being as open as it is.
Yeah, it can't.
Because you did still get the future first, or the first that's going to be a better pick, which, hey, that could end up being, a huge difference depending on how the draft swings out. You never know. You could end up getting your guy that you weren't going to be able to get. So who knows? Who knows on that? That's a very obviously long-term play for the Pistons. But, Kevin Huerter not being in the playoff rotation, although it might not even be likely, it would kind of hurt to just walk away from this deadline where you had all the ability to make these moves and you came away with nobody that helps you this season when the East is as open as it'll ever be. Because, again, Tatum will be ready next year. We don't know how this year's going to go for him, but next year he'll be ready. Next year, Halliburton will be ready. Washington is trying to make real noise. Philly, maybe they're really starting to build something there with their backcourt foundation. Like this East, I know it's bad right now, but you got teams that are ascending. Toronto's having a really good season. They were sniffing around some big moves.
But to that point though, Chris, for the Pistons, you still have young players that are still have so much more potential that can be, added to their game, like Asar Thompson. Like, if he can figure out a way to get that free throw percentage up to even around, 60 to 70%, like he's going to be even more aggressive going to the basket. And that's something that's going to benefit him. You're going to see Ron take more steps that he has. He's already taken steps this year. You're going to see him take more steps as he gets more playing time. And then not to mention what they can do in free agency, in the next, that next offseason. So it's like the Pistons have, they're in a good spot because of the fact that they have, built this thing within and it's solid the way they have built it.
Yeah. I think you can count on internal development, and clearly they did this season, and it was the right move to bank on it. But you still see that, this team does need a lot around it, too, still. There's still just a lot of ways this team can improve, and you see it in football. Those teams that win it, they go all in when their guys are on rookie contracts. And in the NBA, you're gonna have these guys as cost-controlled assets for several years.
Man,
like, throw those picks away now.
And you know what? Kevin Jeffrey in the chat, he says, "Who is the Robin?" Not and as a question, we don't have one on this roster. We do.
Yeah.
Did he just showcased what he was doing?
He's an all-star.
Jalen Duren is your Robin on this team right now. And we've been saying that this whole year that he was the second option and that he was this was his all-star season. And everything that we've said has come to fruition. And you've seen this game, he was dominating this game, and it got to the point where Diabate was getting dominated so much that he literally had to get into Duren's face to get a reaction out of him. Yeah. Now, of course, we don't want to see Duren, obviously do that and, frequently, but, in a game like this where, you do expect the Pistons to kind of pull this one out, it's like you can, kind of, let go of this one, but it's like Jalen Duren has shown you everything to be a Robin on this team.
Yeah, you do, but you do need just more score. I get what he's saying, but yeah,
you need more
scoring.
It depends on what you call a Robin, because
yeah.
Traditionally he wouldn't be what you would call a Robin. He would traditionally be a third piece.
Yeah, but can he be your second best player? like objectively on a championship
I think
team?
an impact because when you look at Ben Wallace, I didn't hear a lot of people saying he was their second best player, even though we knew impact wise
He was.
Ben Wallace was like, there was a lot of people who thought like Chauncey Billups,
He's first, yeah.
Richard Hamilton, who actually leads the Pistons franchise all time in playoff scoring. You know, you had Rasheed Wallace, who came here and was, before he got here, many people would have said he would have been the best player on the Pistons if you dropped him on the Pistons. So, you know what I mean? But when you looked at who Ben Wallace was and the impact
Shout out
he
B-Ball
had,
Paul.
the Pistons don't win that championship without him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out B-Ball Paul for the bucket right there, putting the Pistons back up 8.
What have we seen Jalen Duren? What have we seen his progression, look like this year? We've seen Jalen Duren add the
Jenkins.
mid-range, to his game where he's had, those pull-up jumpers at the free throw line and, some fadeaways and a lot more post work. Like, that is stuff that, as a big man, that can make you a Robin. That can make you a number 2 option. That is what you need as a big man to have that type of role on a team.
Number 2 option is a person who can go out there and get you to 25 or 30 when you need it. And I just don't know if he has that in his will. It's not that he can't go out there on a night and get that. If Jalen Duren gets to the point where you're throwing the ball and he's a guy who can get you 25, 30 points on 60%, 55% from the field, then yeah, that's a number 1 player.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So he's in this area where he's always probably going to be a 20 and 10, 2011 guy who's going to get you some heavy stocks.
Yeah.
But in terms of
you're very happy with 20 from him.
Yeah, you're very happy with that. But you still need, in my opinion, that other guy who can push it from a scoring standpoint. So traditionally, when you heard Robin or second best player and things of that nature, they generally related that to scoring.
Yep.
In this era, I've noticed it to be a little bit different. And so that's why when I hear Just Point, I get exactly what he's talking about in terms of what Jalen Duren can be. Because how are you going to push back on it? Realistically, they're 38-13 right now in the East. I mean, in the NBA, first in the East, tied with OKC Thunder in the loss column. They've been number 1 in the NBA's, I believe, last 3 power rankings. And how are they doing it? With their 2 main all-stars. Now, I do believe it would be nice to get some scoring help, but like I said, until this team fails or proves that their defense isn't good enough or proves that those 2 all-stars aren't good enough, then you actually have to like what you see from Jalen Duren being right now what many would consider to be a number 2 option for them.
And
a Robin.
I see. I want to get the name right because he's been active in the chat. So shout out to you, Kevin Jeffrey. Kevin Jeffrey said, again, who is a Robin on this team? He's the guy who started this. Get Cade legitimate help, and then he followed it by saying, "Will Tobias be here in 2 to 3 years? No, should have acquired a younger piece. I think
he will be.
I think he will be here.
Cheap.
I just think he'll be
exactly,
cheap, and he'll
I
be
think
in a
he's
not
coming
big role,
back for sure.
But I think that that's what their angle is. I think they go get MPJ this summer. I had that gut feeling today when I was thinking about it. Is I think they get MPJ, and the reason they didn't trade Tobias is because he is an upcoming free agent. And so then they can re-sign him. So you could trade the assets to get MPJ outright, especially with your cap flexibility. And then from there you re-sign Tobias, and then you have both of them. And I think that they just greatly valued Tobias. And look, if you're watching the games, you see Tobias's impact. But I get it. He's not a long-term. He's not a long-term player for the Pistons in terms of being your number 3 or 4, whatever he is right now.
But it's that impact that we talk about.
It's the impact, and
we just
called want to have their cake and eat it too. I think they're going to get MPJ in the summer.
Yeah, we just called out though. Like, what did Tobias do to because if he wasn't there, what really could have happened was we probably could have seen Jalen Duren really actually fighting someone, and then you seen Tobias kind of come to the rescue and Unk status pick him up, throw him out the way. You know what I'm saying? Like,
shout out.
They value Tobias's leadership. They value his veteran presence, and that's something that obviously they weren't willing to get rid of.
I think beyond that, I think they just value the fact that he's actually a gamer. He's hitting some threes. He can hit some big shots. He's one of your few players that you can trust with his back to the basket. He can score from all 3 levels still. If he had fallen off, but he still had the intangibles and the
his
vet
3-point
stuff,
shot has been down, but he does everything else. He still does.
Yeah.
I think it was earlier I seen he was in the 88th percentile for post up scoring in the NBA. That's needed.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, when I look at him, if Tobias Harris comes back next year and does this again and comes back in another year and does this again, I'm not calling him washed.
Yeah.
He might not be the Tobias that we saw when he was with Orlando years ago, but I'm not going to sit here and call him washed. I think that who he is right now, especially if the payment can match, then we're good to go.
Shout out Freight Train J. I'm getting my B-Ball Paul jersey today. He left that with the super chat.
Whoa.
Shout out.
That was a crazy.
Whoa, Paul Reed. This is the Paul Reed game. I have now learned to speak B-Ball Paul. Shout out, Platte.
You already knew.
You're
You were
speaking
fluent
my
in
language.
it. You were fluent in it. Charlotte, though.
What a dunk, man. Two-handed dunk, bro. Did you see it?
Yeah. Holy shit. That guy.
Wait, is there another little skirmish? Who is this? Wait, what is going on right now?
Who'd you think it was, Kool-Aid?
Is that the coach?
Minus 8,000, Grant Williams started the skirmish.
Was that the coach? What
the
the
house
frick
on
just
it.
happened?
Oh. I don't know. The camera wasn't on. so I
What the
didn't see.
frick just happened?
That was the Charlotte
That was
Hornets
the coach. What the frick is happening? All right, so he pushed down Paul Reed.
Look at that. Even their coach,
What happened?
he's going straight to the locker room. He already
Bro.
knows it's over for him.
Look at all the assistants coming off the bench to grab him, dog.
Wait, what happened? I got to see this.
Dog. Get off the court, bro. Get off the court, dog. Look at his own players laughing at him, dog. Come on, dog.
Look at it, bro. Sarin's just confused. He's like,
Like,
"For
what
real?"
did we do to you, dog? Get to your side. Like, you ain't no JB Bickerstaff, bro. Yeah. I want to see JB Bickerstaff's reaction through all of that. Like, if he thought old boy was coming at his
Why
players
couldn't they
or
give
not.
us a better camera angle? Come on. Come on. I
This
know all
game
those
got it
cameras are there.
all.
It does.
Oh, my gosh, dog. Brendan, shout out to Sales Brendan, man.
Shout out.
Elite, dog. Shout out to him. Sam Adams and a couple other things he's working on.
Yeah, he's elite.
He says this game is better than the Super Bowl, and I think this game is definitely more entertaining than the Super Bowl, in my opinion.
How we feeling, Chet? Is this game better than the Super Bowl? Let's hear it.
Bro, Paul
nice.
Reed got 12
Let's hear
points and 2 blocks and 2 steals. And he just got in the game. Come on.
Third string center.
We had a fight. We had Stu finally be able to be unleashed. All the people who say, well, Stu didn't fight him when he was in his face. Stu ran to his face and he fought that man.
He did.
Daggone Con Knipple, go somewhere. 91-100. 5:30 left in the fourth quarter. The Hornets are continuing to battle, man.
They are, man. Shout out to Khan, man. He's a baller.
JB is going off on the ref now. With Cade Cunningham right there.
Hey, JB.
I be thinking sometimes Cade is going to go up and tell JB, like, hey, come back. But when JB's going off on the ref, you just
Bro,
see
he just
Cade
lets
walk
Cade
up and stars like, yeah. Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
I'm like, dog, this team is too jacked up sometimes.
That was crazy though. That ref instantly, bro. He didn't even have to get escorted out. He just walked straight to locker room. He knew whatever he said
knew
or
he
whatever
was
he did, he was out. Yeah, that was
He
crazy.
said something, dog, and just turned around and
Yeah.
goodness gracious.
Talk
dog.
about- I don't know.
This game got a little bit of everything.
At Jesse Woodward 5310 in the chat. 1,000% more entertaining than the Sleeper Bowl.
Then the sleeper bowl is.
You know what's
hilarious.
crazy? I actually did doze off for like 10 minutes.
Hey, y'all, look, man, thank
Hey,
y'all
I
for
did
being
too.
here. Smash that like button if you haven't got the opportunity to.
Yes, smash
especially
that.
for these bad boy Pistons
Yeah,
tonight.
come on.
Bad
Come on.
boys.
Everybody in the chat should be liking this off of that fight alone. Come on, we're at 100. Shout out.
2 skirmishes.
2 skirmishes. 101. There we go. Come on, people. Don't be shy now. Hit that like button for us. No, it's seriously.
Undeasy.
It does mean the world. It does help out more than you know. And we appreciate the support because the more you support us, the more things we're gonna be able to do. And we got some dope things planned that involve you. So it is in your best interest to be liking these streams, commenting on these streams, sharing these streams, telling all your friends about it because there's some dope opportunities we're building, and you're going to be a part of it, everybody that's been in the chat. So shout out to all of you, man. It's been a magical season so far.
And I know Charles Lee, once a long time ago, a
Pistons
candidate for Detroit Pistons head coach. And some people thought he was going to be the guy, either him or Kevin Ali, who was overtime elite, Con can nipple with another 3.
Gee,
if they're going to stay in this game, the 3-point shooting is going to be what levels it. Because we lost one of our one of our aces in the hole in Jalen Duren, who we knew. Yep. If he's in that game, he's going to dominate them. But he's out the game right now. Con can nipple 5 and 9 from behind the arc for 20 points. 4:52 left. Cade is in the game, so now it is officially crunch time. The last 5 minutes of any game is the clutch time.
Cade,
and
clutch
the
player of the year.
they do track that. Cade! Let's go. First shot in the clutch is kind of a shimmy of a layup, man, around a couple different defenders of the Hornets in the paint. That's what you like to see.
Absolutely.
And then Freight Train J in the chat. This is why Detroit will bring back the NBA. Absolutely. Detroit basketball is bringing back the NBA. They're the most entertaining team to watch in the NBA.
I don't get why Detroit sports are disrespected the way we are. Because
so disrespected.
We show out. Like, it is in your best interest. When Detroit is good, those are always good times. Whether it's football, whether it's basketball, those are always good times in terms of the league overall business. Like,
well, Grant Williams
the bad boys, like, they were giving you press every single day. They were giving you press every single day. The Lions, when they were making their historic runs and going to the NFC Conference Championship and all that, everybody was all in on it. Everybody that could gambled on the Lions winning the Super Bowl. Life is better when Detroit sports are involved. So make sure, leagues, that you're looking out for us. I don't get why we're disrespected. I don't know what we did. All we did was work hard.
102-96, 4 minutes left. Pistons have the ball. LaMelo Ball just hit a one-leg running floater in the paint. And he was talking this talk on the way down. Cade with a bad turnover. LaMelo Ball's coming down.
That's the issue.
Nipple from 3, and he misses it. That feels like they got lucky. What did they do? Did they call a timeout that quickly, or was he? I think he stepped on the line. He had to step on the line. Yeah. Cade with the reverse spin and almost gets it taken. They're going to have to not have these careless turnovers in this game. I'd rather Cade shooting and missing than actually give a whole possession to the other team.
100%. Cade's got to go down swinging. You're the best player on the court. Not literally.
29
Not
points
literally.
for
There's
Cade
been
tonight.
too many swings in this game. There's been too much.
I don't mind a few more swings. No.
Not from Cade.
Hey, he was in the mix tonight.
He was.
We definitely don't need that.
Cade ain't no O.
Cade was like, when they show the highlights back, the record will let it be known. I was in the mix.
Don't worry, though. Adam Silver's going to be investigating the Jazz for tanking. He won't be worried about the Pistons. Just kidding. That's going to be the deflection. We're going to get overly punished because Adam Silver is not going to address the tanking problem.
Bro, Paul Reed has gotten called
happen.
for like 3 fouls in the last minute. Like, what the frick?
Shout out.
He's using those fouls.
As you should.
Yeah.
As you should, King. He made that, though. Brandon Miller made that 3, though.
Good defense. Good defense. Come on, man. Chaos Levert, he decides to take the swipe at the end of that play.
Out the chat. How are we feeling about it? You guys nervous about this? You guys think the Pistons got it? How you feeling, chat? Feeling worried? 3 minutes left.
Bro, with like a second left on the shot clock, they actually give him that foul. It resets the shot clock for the Hornets to 14 seconds. I'm feeling confident right now about the Pistons, man. I can't wait to see what the chat is feeling, but some things to be concerned about. He traveled there. Knuckle travels so bad.
That 3 is a great equalizer, though.
But in this play, though, it was good to see them run them off that 3-point line. But you're right, the Hornets, 44% from behind the arc and 100% from the free throw line. So you want to play clean defense, which we know the Pistons can. Cade Cunningham with an up and under, a reverse layup to put the Pistons up 104-96 with 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. He has 31 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, and he's shooting a good 12 of 26 from the floor. He's pissed off right now. That was a weak call. Who'd they call that on? They called that on Cade? That's kind of weak. That's kind of weak. That's kind of weak. That's a basketball play. I understand why they called that with the physicality of this game, but that's what they always do when they're doing those pick and roll exchanges at the top of the key.
Yeah.
Danis Jenkins, Cade passes it off because they pick him up full court. This is what Danis is supposed to be. Can you alleviate and relieve the pressure for Cade? Dog, they're pulling on Cade's jersey. Call the call. There we go. Make the call. Like, how you got a whole handful of his jersey? We can all see it. Even your fans in the arena, and you sitting here complaining and crying and such. Like, look at this. It's just a handful of jersey. What are we talking about, dude? Hornets are killing me, dog. Freaking fake tough guys. They watched one of their teammates get jumped. And then
that's crazy.
now they're all tough.
What? Now, old boy who was guarding Cade flopped on the exchange. Now, on the pick and roll exchange when Cade was on defense, what they call foul on the Pistons. On the pick and roll exchange here, what they call foul on the Pistons when they're on offense. Danny's got to be a little bit smarter than that, but I get it. They're playing physical. That was a foul. I just didn't think it was one on Cade the other way back down. But 104-98, 143 left in the game. Right now, Cade is leading this game in clutch scoring. He's hit a couple buckets. It'd be nice to see him hit a couple more and then close this thing out with some free throws, too.
Absolutely. And you talk about those suspensions have an impact to your next 5 games. I don't think anybody will get 5.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be 5. I think at most maybe 1 to 2.
I think he'll probably get more than. I think he'll get more than 1. I think he'll get 2.
I could see
maybe 3.
2 being.
Yeah, the guys throwing punches definitely are going to get probably more than 1.
Toronto, New York, Chicago, San Antonio, Oklahoma City in that order. So I imagine that you're hoping that players will be back by San Antonio.
You would need them.
Oh yeah. They're not going to let that game go with all them guys suspended like that. If they do, it's just
they better just suspend everybody one game. They better not let that New York game go like that. That's big.
They're going. I feel like they're going to.
Oh,
I
they're
feel
going
like
to
that
suspend
New York
them for New
game,
York.
that's
New
their
York
get
needs
back.
one on us.
That's what I'm saying. That's their get back.
New York
That's the
needs
leagues. Because look, man, how you selling playoff
We've
tickets?
embarrassed. We punked the Knicks.
You got to sell hope to the Knicks, to their fans. That's the whole thing there. Watch them be able to be like, hey, you know what? This is the perfect opportunity for us to be able to go ahead and make sure the Knicks can come away with a little bit of a even playing field.
And then they still lose.
Well, because we haven't had Durant all season yet.
Yeah.
And we still smacking them.
Yeah,
I feel like, what we have, Daniel Jenkins just cleared somebody out on the screen. I'm
That's the
surprised
last
they didn't
time we
call
played.
foul.
Wow. So Jalen Duren will not play New York till playoffs. So he's got to sit with that loss for a year. That's take his overs. Take his overs against New
He's
York.
gonna be a monster in the playoffs. I don't see how if you put Karl-Anthony Towns on him at all, how he holds him at all. They're gonna be going to Mitchell
physical.
Robinson a lot.
Way too physical.
They're gonna be going. They're gonna
100%.
have to. If he's still on that bench, they're gonna have to be going to him. 12-4 run for the Charlotte Hornets in the last
How was that not a
4-12 of the
foul?
game. 104-100, 114 left in the game, man. Con Knipple passes it back to Brandon Miller, wide open 3, and he misses. Con Knipple with the second chance opportunity for the Hornets. He puts up the 3, misses it as well. Cade with the rebound. 31 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists for Cade Cunningham. 53 seconds left in the game. You guys know who the ball is supposed to go to, but the defender is literally defending Cade in a way where he's not getting the ball. Tobias Harris back to the basket, sinks it. What do we talk about tonight? The reliability of a Tobias Harris, especially with his back to the basket. One of the league's best, man.
Absolutely.
That's a great play. And you know what? I like the fact that even though we know Cade can be that guy, he doesn't have to force it in times like this. We've seen guys like Tobias, guys like Danis, even guys like Jalen Duren be able to come through at the end of games like this. And I think that is huge for this team and everything they're talking about trying to do right now. Look at this.
Shout out Cade for stepping up on the boards too. That's huge.
And you know what's crazy, bro? If you could
That's
rewind
huge
it,
with no
shout
Duren.
out. If you could rewind it, look at Tobias on his back down. Look when they show the view with the coach behind it. You could hear it's like you could see the coach yelling like, help! Double! No, it's buckets, bro. And they got there way too late. If you see Tobias Harris on anybody 6'5" and under, I'm sorry, that's buckets. Buckets.
It should be.
106-101, 39.8 seconds left. 20 wins by single digits by the Pistons is the most in the NBA. Shout out to FanDuel Sports for putting that up on the screen.
Shout out.
What a game, man. What a game. This game has had everything.
Absolutely.
It just sucks that the next 5 games
It's better than the Super Bowl.
Shout out to Brendan.
The chat has spoken 88%.
Man, this is interesting, bro. It's crazy to see how stayed ready these players at the end of their bench are. Not just the bench players.
Absolutely.
Like Paul Reed could literally go without playing meaningful minutes for 2-3 weeks at a time.
And be a
And
contributor.
then he steps in and it's just like, bro, I'm busting tail. Who you want me to go and just work?
They stay ready.
I love this team, man. I'm just gonna
Hey
be
man,
real
if
with you.
this comes down to one possession, I gotta go to your screen because you're ahead of me.
It's 106, 101,
We gotta
39.3
You
seconds.
gotta find a way to get on these TVs, man.
We do. All right, I'm going to call it out. 36 seconds left. LaMelo Ball, one-legged 3. Okay, he misses. Tobias Harris, big rebound. Grant Williams tries to come in and take the ball from him late, but I think they called foul. Let's go.
Shout out.
Free throws for Uncle Tobias. He's about to take. If he hits these 2 free throws, he will actually tie Cade, I think, for the same amount of clutch scoring here.
No, WeezyD313 says, me and Coach Casey built this team from the ground up. Shout out Weezy.
Shout out my guy,
Weezy.
Coach Casey.
Yeah, shout out Coach Casey.
Shout out Weezy D, too, man. It's good to see some people in this chat that have kind of been on this journey for some time, man.
Absolutely.
Mark Royal, I see you. Crazy Clown. What up, though?
Tobias can't touch this.
I got
Harris.
Randall Smalls, man. Just shouting out some people, man. This is pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see the Pistons handle this thing even after they had some ejections. 107, 101 right now. Tobias Harris, just the first free throw. And that's something that I believe the Pistons have done really well tonight. They're 80% from the arc. From the stripe, 20% from behind the arc, though. And the Hornets still haven't missed a free throw, though. They've just shot well, except for from the field. There was a time when they were closer to 50% from the field. They're about 42, 43% from the field right now. Let me see here. Hey, I see you, Fletch Lives Daily. Says, thanks for the show, boys. No, thank y'all, man. This thing is gotten awesome. Thank you to, Diabate. Thank you to Miles Bridges for being dumb. Thank you.
Thank you for challenging the big fellas.
Bro, if Ron Holland was out there, man.
He would have absolutely walloped.
And
Miles
you know what?
Bridges.
It's a good thing he's not, because we are going to need
What is his
him
what is his
moving
injury
forward.
actually?
It was personal reasons
Oh, personal.
at first.
Okay.
I'll look to see if there's an update or not. But LaMelo Ball, I think he just got. They didn't call no N1 on that. No. 108, 104, 17.4 seconds left to go. That was 2 quick scores by the
Hornets.
2 quick scores by the Hornets.
Yeah, Hornets doing their best to make it a game, man. I think, look, this is a team that's won 9 games in a row. That's on home court.
They can score.
They can score. They have your kryptonite. They have your kryptonite in terms of three-point shooting. They have it in abundance. They're the best three-point shooting team in the league right now. The hottest, I should say, at least, to be fair and correct. And this would be a big win for the Pistons if they're able to pull it out, man. I didn't think that Charlotte Hornets were going to be playing meaningful basketball against the Detroit Pistons in February. But here we are.
This is awesome, man. That's what we talked about.
This is a big test. Like, this is. You talk about those strength of schedule games. Go knock off one of the hottest teams. You just did it last week with New York. Do it again now. Especially because, like we talked about, Kool-Aid, this could end up being a first-round matchup.
It could be.
And you don't want to give this team any confidence, any firepower, which I'm sure they gave themselves some material with the brawl of this game. Both sides are going to be very much ready to play each other again.
And
I'll tell you that.
WeezyV31 says, Hornets got a nice core, which I agree with, too. He says
do.
LaMelo's just not Cade, which when you look at all these team dysfunctions, I told people that. I said the Pistons are going to see a renaissance a little sooner because of who Cade is, and they're going to pass up these other teams because they don't have the player like Cade. These other guys are just lunching on the fact that there's poor roster construction around Cade. Let him just get something marginal, just like guys who are not pylons. and watch what happens. And look at this Pistons team now. Like, it's amazing to see how they've just passed up all of everybody else's favorite flavors of the week. I remember when everybody wanted to be able to pick the Atlanta Hawks. I remember when everybody said that the Orlando Magic were up next. I remember those days.
And they were saying that this year. They were saying the Orlando Magic, they made the
people loved the Magic.
They made
this
the
year.
big swing to be better than the Pistons.
Yep. And now you're sitting here looking at this thing.
And now you look at them and it doesn't work.
Not at all. Not at all. And these are things part of me wants to go back and clip stuff. Just from a basketball standpoint, it's like, okay, if these guys at the top end play like absolute stars, then yeah, you can cover up a whole lot of holes. But y'all got a lot of holes. And what's going to wind up happening is every year you don't win a championship, people are going to realize we're not a championship caliber team. Yeah. People are going to start coming to work, coming to play games, realizing I just need to make sure I can get to my next contract rather than what does it take to actually become a champion. We see this Detroit Pistons team buying into what it takes to be a better team, buying into what it takes to never see 14 wins in your win column ever again for a total season. The worst win total for the Pistons in season in franchise history. Okay. So that's just, I don't know. I feel like it's two different planes of existence in terms of, the precipice that we do see the Pistons on versus what I see out of some of these other teams. I feel like this squad, they're built for this because of who Cade is.
Absolutely.
That's why you go and you get him. That's why we were so bullish about this the entire time. Pistons are at 110 to 104. 2.9 seconds left to go. Javonte Green almost gets a steal at half court. This game is all but over, people.
Smash the like button, man.
Smash that like
Pistons
button.
won. They just beat another team on an 8+ game win streak in the Eastern Conference. They are just beheading every team in the Eastern Conference that wants to get any type of momentum against them. Boston, looking like a real title contender, 3-1 them. New York, 8-game winning streak, boom, blew them out. Charlotte Hornets, you came in their house after winners of 9 in a row, playing some of the hottest basketball. You sent them home too.
And lost your two biggest defensive anchors in the paint.
That's true, but they lost players too.
Yeah,
so
they
I don't
did,
even want to bring that into
they did,
consideration.
But I'm just saying.
So you do gotta bring that into play. I mean, we lost an All-Star. They didn't lose an All-Star.
I
it
will
was
bring
part of
it
the
into
play.
consideration because of how the Pistons win versus how the Hornets win.
Right.
The Hornets did lose what you would consider to be an important piece of Miles Bridges, but they still had who? LaMelo Ball, who has been an all-star in this squad, and they had Cade Cunningham, who we understand what he's been as a shooter this year, and they have Brandon Miller. We all know what he is as a shooter. Their recipe to win games was still intact, even if you lose to Miles Bridges and Diabate. You need him. Why? If you're trying to battle with Jalen during the Stu. So if you remove Jalen during the Stu, there's literally very little value for Diabate if you lose him. You lose Miles Bridges, but you really got the core of everybody that was making this game a go for you if you were the Hornets anyway. And so I do look at the situation when you're losing your starting and your backup center,
right.
And your backup center could be a starter for most teams in this league.
That's true.
By the way, he's probably going to make an all-defensive team this year. Oh, by the way, he is number one in I don't know how many different paint and defending at the rim categories. You lost these guys, and you still found a way to go out there and honestly settle the noise, settle the moment, and get right back into, you know what? Let's just handle our business in this game. After that moment, it seemed like the game was just different for the Pistons. You saw a little bit different streak out of Cade, a little bit different looks out of him, won a little bit of a flurry as we saw other players. And that, to me, kind of shows the pedigree of this Pistons team. I find myself not necessarily surprised at a win like tonight, but I find myself in a position where I'm just like, you know what? This squad is proving, I believe, a lot of what we thought they could be with a win like this.
Absolutely, man. And I called it earlier in the game. They were at a point in the second quarter, they were shooting 61% from three. They were shooting lights out. And I said, if you could continue to control the ball, I like the shots that they're getting. I like the physicality that they're playing with. They're probably going to end up settling around 40% because, hey, that's still a great night. For an NBA team beyond the arc. But they got right to that 40. And that was a huge difference because they kept getting threes, and they had that lead. Why? Not because they were making more field goals, but because their threes were outweighing the twos that the Pistons were making. But the Pistons' style of play was much more sustainable. With shooting, you can get cold, you could get hot. There's ebbs and flows to it. But the way this Piston plays The way this Piston team plays consistently is just winning basketball. I know we're going to get into all the stats and stuff first, but I do think, Kool-Aid, we should probably reset with what will be like the biggest topic in the brawl. And I think we should kind of assess. I know we talked about it as it was happening, as it was unfolding. So if you want, rewind the stream to the time of that event and you can see it. But I think we should kind of talk about what do we expect in terms of suspensions and in terms of impact. I do think we should kind of start there just because that's such a big
I will go
noise.
there. Just to do a quick recap on the game, but
Okay,
over
we
because
can do that.
Some of the stuff we might hear as time is going on, as it
Yeah.
relates to the Pistons and the things that we've seen in the past. You expect all the guys who threw a swing effectively in a brawl where people are getting tossed to be suspended. You expect the players that got up off the bench in a jersey or in their warm-ups who are not in the game, you expect them to get suspended as well. Outside of that, this is a situation where the Pistons have had to win games all year where they've been missing Cade, games where they missed Duren, games where they missed Cade and Duren. I believe that this is another test in the cap of the, to be able to put another feather in the cap of the Pistons, who are proving through a lot of different scenarios and situations that their identity and their pedigree can still be there, even if they're missing some of their most important players. And it's because everybody on this team, their motor, when you check them, it's at 150%.
Absolutely.
And I think that gives them a chance every single night. You can see this team go out there and get pummeled from behind the arc. Do you guys understand and that's why I like going through the box score. When you look at 40% from behind the arc on 47 attempts for the Hornets, but you still lose because the Pistons said, we think our strength is better than your strength, even after we lose our defensive anchors, our physical tone setters, that to me is just absolutely huge. So for me, it'd be interesting to see exactly what the suspensions are. If they go light on these guys, I don't even know what that is for Stu. I feel like light for Stu is almost 5 games minimum. There's swings, there's punches, just coming off the bench.
Multiple,
you weren't in the game. And that's where it's like it'll be interesting to see because he's gotten suspended 2 games in the past for the Drew Eubanks situation where he basically told him, hey, meet me off court then if you think you big and bad.
Yeah.
And how did that end? With the Phoenix Suns pressing charges for whatever stupid reason. Look, your player was talking greasy, met Stu, and then got worked. Stop being soft. Like just straight up. And so, but when you look at those types of situations and he's getting a couple games for those types of things, that's where I could see Stu getting somewhere between 3 and 5 minimum for this. It just depends on how they're going to apply certain things because everybody got up off the bench. Coaches, everybody got up off the This thing was a situation where I was just waiting for one of the tussles to fall into the crowd. So it was like, I understand getting your guys up. Hopefully if they review, you'll see some of those guys are actually in the crowd trying to pull guys back. And so I do expect for Stewart to be gone probably the longest out of any Pistons player. And you know what? Rightfully so. He earned it. I don't even say it as a bad thing. Somebody going after your all-stars, this is what you do. Yeah. It just is what it is. Jalen Duren, I would be surprised. I think the face push is going to be what gets him more than a game. Yeah. If he didn't do the face push, it would probably just be a game for Duren and he's back. But because of the face push and then he kind of chilled out after that, I probably see it's probably going to be a couple games for him.
Okay.
Honestly, I think if it wasn't for the face push, then you probably see Jalen Duren's probably never even exited out the game. He's probably never even ejected. He's probably just met with a technical because he was the one that initiated the face push. That's going to land him. I feel like he's going to land at 2 games. I feel like they're going to give Stu the longest out of those because of his reputation and because of the fact that he was not on the floor at the time and he came off of the bench and actually, engaged in, a confrontation with Miles Bridges. Whether it was to protect Duren or not, the NBA is not going to see it that way. They're going to see it as he came off the bench and engaged with a player that was on the court.
Well, and it's not even really about protecting him. Yeah. Tobias protected Duren without throwing a single punch like that. And that's what I mean. It's like, and for us, knowing that Stu is an enforcer and knowing if this is a special team you might meet again, no, we're not about that. I can take this right now. I can take this right now.
Want him to
think
do
this
that,
what you're going to do? Run up and swipe at our players, hit at our players. Like, we know this. Jalen Duren didn't mush his face for no reason. Yeah. We know this. The whole game, we see my man
But
Like literally
away.
doing pull-ups on Jalen Duren's biceps. It's just like, what are we doing?
and at the same time, Kool-Aid,
I agree.
Diabate was right into Duren's face
Yeah.
for. It
He
was
was
you
He
know,
got in
Foul
his
hard.
face and
It was
Duren was just literally like, bro, out
He
of
was-
my
It was
face.
it was a couple seconds where he was in his face and he was talking and he's forehead to forehead, like that's disrespectful. Like you know what I mean? Like what are you gonna do if someone come up to you and is sitting there, basically, touching foreheads with you, trying to get all up in your face? Like Jalen Duren did what he did, and
Yeah.
he had the right to. Like,
Isaiah
you know what
Stewart
I
was
mean?
like, I walked away from that Jonas Valanciunas headlock,
Yeah.
and I didn't really get anything out of that. Like,
They
no,
need-
bro, he
they
was
need
ready to
to
go.
reward
Yeah.
me for this.
He should have got better. He should get benefit of the doubt for that. But I think that you guys are right. I think that Stu gets the most of it for the reasons of the reputation, for the reasons of leaving the bench. The multiple punches thrown. I think that Stu is absolutely getting suspended for multiple games. I think Duren is getting suspended for multiple games. I would say Duren
I think
probably
his is
gets
the
3.
lightest, and then I think
Stu would get most, yeah.
I think for Diabate and Miles Bridges, they're both going to end up with, I'm going to probably say 3 to 4 games suspension, because of the fact that Miles Bridges threw a punch at Duren, he also threw a punch at Stu, and Diabate just couldn't let it go. He just kept continuing to try to engage with Jalen Duren and pushing, other players and pushing referees out the way to try to get to Duren.
Right.
And I feel like because of the fact that he's also one of the initiators of this, he's going to get met with that suspension as well.
Absolutely, man. And you look at it, and this is going to have big impact on the Pistons because they do have a lot of upcoming games that are important. Again, I stressed it to start the stream. They have as many losses as Oklahoma City Thunder. They are 2 games back of them, now a game back. They have just an amazing opportunity to secure home court, not through the East, but through the league, potentially even into the finals. And you talk about what that can do for a young team that's in their first NBA finals. Again, if we get there, I know that's a lot of projecting everything, but this is important. This is important for the Pistons to chase this. And missing Stu for multiple games will hurt. Missing Duren for multiple games will hurt. We'll see what other suspensions come out in terms of who left the bench and all of that. But I think this is going to, have real implications on the Pistons. You do have faith, though, that the Pistons have won games without players before. You've seen them rest. Hell, you've seen them rest multiple guys in the same game, and they've still pulled out wins. So this is a team that JB Bickerstaff, he knows what he's doing. He has a good pulse on this team in terms of getting the best out of players. So you hope that. But, yeah, the NBA, they have their reputation against Detroit. It is what it is, the way they look at Detroit. And they are going to come down harsh on them because the truth of the matter is they have a tanking problem that they don't want to address. So they would much rather gladly over-punish the Pistons and the Hornets because they don't want accountability on their tanking.
And
That's just what it is.
And
That's what it is.
And I see you guys' reaction in the chat. Like, obviously, I see that you guys, saying like, Jalen Duren's not going to get suspended. Him and Stu, maybe 1 game. The fact is that the Pistons already have this reputation for being, the physical team, the team that, kind of, plays with that edge of, starting stuff and being that type of team is why the NBA is going to go hard on this. And not to mention the Pistons' history previous to this team, that's just things that the NBA thinks about when they look at situations like this, where they go, they're going to try to make an example.
But as a
when it's
team,
something
though,
like this.
they've been largely okay. They haven't had anything.
they
you
have.
can say that they have Stu, but as a team, there is nothing to make an example out of with these guys.
But we've seen Duren get ejected out of the game. We've seen Stu get ejected out of the
but
game.
that's it. We've seen Stu
We've
and
seen Ron
Duren.
Holland kind of get into it and stuff like that. But
We've
it's
seen
like,
Ron Holland be able to get into it to back up his teammates in those situations.
Yeah, it's always to back up, but it's like,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? Like, the NBA still is going to look at it with the scope and view of they're going to try to make an example because this is.
I push back just a little bit on that. I push back. When you have J.B. Bickerstaff for his 2 years here complaining about the level of physical play against his guys, specifically Jalen Duren and Isaiah Stewart, NBA, you're making this problem. Fix the problem. Call the fouls. I don't care if you don't want to call them. Tell the Charlotte Hornets people to stop fouling. That's what realistically happened. They couldn't stop Duren, and they got frustrated, and they got up in his face. And what did Duren say? Get the frick out of my face. Because I bet you would. How long are you letting somebody sweat and spit in your face? It's not happening for me. I'm not letting that happen with nobody here on the street, nobody here in this office. I'm not letting only person who could do that is my mom and my dad.
And that's where it gets.
And that's it.
And that's where it gets to a point where Kool-Aid, that was disrespectful. Like, he's in his face, and he's pushed him to that line where you've crossed the line, and that's the reason why Jalen Duren did that. Yeah. But just real quick in the chat, Aaron's 1789. Ron probably punched his TV to try to get into the fight.
Dude, Ron Holland. I'm telling you, it would have been bad for Miles Bridges because Ron Holland and Isaiah Stewart would have DP'd the hell out of Miles Bridges. They would have absolutely been wailing on Miles Bridges.
And
that would have been the player that would have been just messed up.
I mean, you look at the loop. There's Miles Bridges and a sea of coaches from both teams and Pistons players was all around them. Yeah. And that's how it goes. And it's like, I don't know, for me, when you got your players running around taking swings at the Pistons players first, that's when I'm like, nah. If it's our players going out there and aggressing other players from a physically, like I'm trying to beat you up standpoint, then I can understand that. If it's just a notion of, okay, you guys saw the physical play, Jalen Duren should have been going to the free throw line to shoot free throws or at least Pistons ball out, and you got Diabate aggressing him. That's the initial. It just depends on, honestly, the nuance of how they look at that in terms of how things start to come down. If Diabate is the aggressor, even though Duren was the first one to put hands on him after the play, I think that's very crucial. And that's where I say, you know what? I don't see the Pistons as this kind of dirty or nasty team. I look at them as the Lions from a few years ago where you had the league crying about the level of physicality that guys like Kirby Joseph brought. But when you looked at the league, even though there had been this reputation of how physical they played, the league wasn't finding them like that.
True.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, the Pistons aren't coming away from this thing as like a dirty team and fined and things of that nature. That's not them. They go out there and they're going to play physical. And if you can't match up, how dare the league try to continue this thing another decade of trying to dumb this thing down and soft this thing down and weaken this thing down? Like, we've all grown up playing basketball the same way. It's most of us, I don't know if y'all play, most of us, we don't even call fouls.
No.
If you don't give me the foul, then I'm just still playing ball.
Yeah.
And so that's where it's just like, I try to push back on this just a little bit, because if this was a dirty team,
I don't know about y'all, but I've gotten into a fight on the court.
Huh?
I've gotten into a fight on the court.
Look, we've hey,
100%.
I played in games where we beat
never.
Detroit. We beat a couple teams in Detroit at the YMCA in Detroit and had to be escorted out with police. Trust me, bro. Like, we've been there. And that's where I'm just like, the game within the game. They know the physicality. They know certain things are going to spill. Because there's some fights that just end in ejections and no suspensions.
Yeah.
Just from pushing and a little bit of shove and all this other. Jonas Valanciunas was able to literally headlock Stewart.
It's for me, it's the swipes and things like that. That's where it kind of gets into a little bit more of the trouble. But I don't think that there is any way possible that the NBA can give Isaiah Stewart anywhere near 10 to 15 games. Like, that's not going to happen, Chad. We don't have to worry about that. I don't think that they can.
Yeah, we hope.
I feel like if that's given out, that's something that the Pistons are going to appeal right away, because there's absolutely no way 10 to 15 games.
The Pistons, no, they're not going to be able to label them. If they were going to come down hard and they wanted to come down hard on the Pistons, you know how they would do it? It would be him.
Yeah.
So that's the thing to look at. He's going to be the one, because he sets the tone. He already has the track record. They've already put on wax. Remember that 2 or 3 game suspension? When it was like, at most it should be 1 game. And what did Joe Dumars put in the letter? He's a repeat offender.
Yep.
So we're going to treat this one a little bit differently. So Stewart is the one who your example applies directly to him, but to the rest of the team, no. Cade, he's not dirty. Tobias, he doesn't have a reputation.
No.
And that's what I mean. Like, if they apply that label to this Pistons team, I think that they're going to be doing themselves a disservice. This Pistons team is playing ball the right way, in my opinion. And
Yeah.
if you want to be the
They play
aggressor,
physically.
they're proving, let's get physical then. But they've been asking for this for years.
And that's what Jalen Durham was doing. He was literally just out physicaling Diabate. Like, he beat him to every spot, and he would use his strength to literally just back him down underneath the basket. And he was getting everything that he wanted. And that is why Diabate, kind of got into Jalen Durham's face and made him, mush him. It was that fact alone that he was literally just getting beat on.
Yeah.
People think the NBA, I see you in the chat, man. My man Anthony from the D says the NBA is weak and soft AF now. It is, man. There used to be times where you just had to sort out how many technical fouls were going to be shot.
Yeah.
And if someone was kicked out, it's because they got like 2 technicals for like shoving and fighting and such. Like today's NBA, a little bit different, man. It's going to be interesting. I see Captain Goodness thinks it's going to be 2 games for Isaiah Stewart. It's going to be interesting.
I would love
He
to.
ran off the bench.
I would
If
love
it's
to
2
with
games.
I would be
Then we're cool.
ecstatic with 2.
2 games.
Because then that
I'm
means
shutting-
Jordan's only
I'm
going to get
shutting
1,
up.
and then we're back to business and we're good to go.
I'm not saying nothing about Kawhi and aspirations. I'm not saying nothing about the Utah Jazz and tanking.
No, they didn't
I'm
point
closing
shave.
my
They
mouth.
didn't point shave.
No more snitching from me. No more snitching from me. If Isaiah Stewart only
Shout
gets
out to
2
the
games.
chat, though. Hold on, man. I don't want to. Hold on.
That's gonna be crazy,
Maybe
man.
Bickerstaff at the podium. Oh, yeah, he's heated. I love this.
All right.
I love when he's this.
I can't wait to hear you break down what he says, Kool-Aid. So go ahead and lock in. I'll kind of handle things from here.
He's
I
talking
think-
about the fact that they were able to still maintain their composure, down the stretch of this game, even after all of the physicality. Teams trying to challenge them, teams trying to push them off their mark, man. Like, I love what he's saying right now, and you could tell he's fired up.
Yeah.
That's what I love.
Because he knows what's coming. He knows the disrespect that's coming Stu's way.
Oh, yeah. I mean, for his entire team, too.
Yep.
I think he understands how his team is colored in his league. They've had to fight for a lot. Do you remember when he was getting pissy at the microphones last year because his team wasn't getting free throws?
Yeah.
And then he wound up balling up the paper and throwing it at the mic? Well, you go fast forward a year, and guess what? They're getting free throws. They're getting free throws. Now he's getting pissy about what? Y'all better quit fucking effing with my team. That's where he's at right now.
No, say
That's
what you
where
want
he's
say
at
what you
right
want to say.
now. Quit effing with my
Almost.
team. We stopped it. There was an
Almost
FU
there.
and we stopped.
Yeah. I think
That's what I'm saying. I like a coach like that. What have you heard from all of these players? They've all stated the same thing. His energy on the sideline, his energy in practice, his energy in film study. This stuff gets us fired up, man. They say it's almost as if he's out there with us on the court. Where have we heard that before? When Lions players were talking about Dan Campbell. So he's one of those guys, and if your intensity doesn't match, that's where I think the issues happen with the Cleveland
with
Cavaliers.
the Mitchell stuff. Yeah, you gotta rise to the occasion.
I see Jeff over there with his face.
Well,
What up, though?
Rest assured, the Pistons didn't get the worst of it. Don't worry. The Atlanta Hawks and the Timberwolves did the Pistons a favor, and they got into a fight too.
What?
So,
Hey,
Nas Reed and a player I
Eyes
have
over there.
no idea who that is, but
Goodness,
somehow,
I'm waiting
some
for
way.
ESPN to pop up here, man. I'm looking at this. Evan Foster, I know Cade was getting swarmed tonight. They were mugging Cade at the rim. This is from Mitten Made. This is stuff that they do all the time, and that's why you see JB Bickerstaff kind of fired up about
yeah,
this.
getting
But
ahead of it too.
it's fight night.
Do you think? Yeah,
in the
fight
NBA.
night in the NBA.
Yeah, fight night in the NBA continues. Who's next?
We're Dispenser. UFC's dead. NBA is where the fights are. I do think that though this Piston team, it's going to be interesting. What do you think the announcement will come down tomorrow morning? Official
I
announcement.
feel like they're not going to wait, but
Absolutely.
if you got another fight, that might change things up a little bit because you're going to have all the teams sitting around looking like.
It was Nas Reed
Also,
and a
again, Lloyd
player.
Marketing benched the whole
I don't
fourth
know
quarter.
I don't know who that player is, but they
Nas
were
Reed and who
locked
else?
Like this, I have no idea who he was.
Goodness. Shout out to the NBA, man.
There was some player on the Atlanta Hawks, but literally they were locked into jerseys, like they were like looking to fight. Like it was almost like a hockey fight.
Dang.
Chili Damon thinks Stu is going to be suspended enough games so that he won't be eligible for all defensive awards by the end of the season. That would be
unfortunate.
crazy. They would have to suspend him a whole rack of games. That would be like unprecedented.
That would be hurtful.
That would be spiteful, dog.
That would be so
Platte's
hurtful,
spirit
man.
just changed, dog.
Especially because we all know he deserved a lot of award recognition last year.
And
if he
deserves
gets robbed
even
of
more
that-
this year.
If he gets robbed of that because of punk-ass Miles Bridges, man.
Yo, help us get the 200 likes, man.
That's a damn shame.
Let's go through this box score real quick. But realistically, man, it's going to probably continue to come back to the Pistons, Stu, the fight. Keep us updated on what's going on in that other scrum right now. Let's see how many people get ejected and such. I think that it bodes actually well for the Pistons that you only saw Stu and Durant.
I honestly think
get
it was
ejected.
just those two.
Yeah.
Everyone else is breaking
That's
it
true.
up from what the video sees. So I think
Yeah.
it's just going to be those two guys that
I mean,
get
they can
ejected
go
from
back
that
and
game.
assess things, but
Yeah.
largely
They're
when
going
they zoom in, it's just it looks like people are pulling players off. I hope they don't zoom in on that scrum after Bridges swiped that during. We might lose a couple more players, guys. I got to be honest with you. I'm going to keep harping on that. Look, we've seen Chris Childs go at Kobe. We've seen things happen.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't never seen like to that magnitude.
Yeah, that was
Look
nuts.
at Stu. Like, he got him down, and he was just like, I'm like, oh, this is a street brawl. You really from Jamaica? You really that music is really real for Stu,
Yes,
man.
it's
Like,
real.
I'm just like,
Bumba
yo,
all
let's
over
rock.
his head. What are you talking about? What you talking about?
Let me
Bopped him on the head.
go
That
through this
music
real
is
quick.
his release. That's his way of showing his love and his peace.
Yeah, it's just love.
I can't wait for the next Stewart song to come on now, dog. Island Stew, let's rock, man. I'm gonna just zip through this. You already know the shooting numbers: 47-41. Pistons win the field goal battle. They lose the 3-point battle, 20-40. Free throw wise, even though the Hornets were 17 of 17, 100%, this team took less free throws in the second half than they had in the first half, or I think in the first quarter, to be honest with you. The Pistons still find a way, though, even though they only shoot 82%, to make 23 of 28 free throws tonight, which I count that as a win for them.
Yep.
They made their free throws down the stretch. Jalen Duren was really, really, really good when he was in a game and very confident in getting into the paint and not being scared about getting fouled, stepping to the free throw line and knocking down his shots.
Being dominant.
That, to me, is like, ooh, when we talk about Robin stuff, you want to see him take that leap from 20 to being able to be 20 twice, maybe 25, 30 points. There's going to be nights when you see him do that because he's hitting about 8, 9, 10 free throws a night. You know, so shout out to Jalen Duren for showing, I think, just a little bit more of what he can be on a night-to-night basis as we go through this thing, man. You got the rebound game here. This one was tough, 41-39. It was tight. But what I like is how they edged them out ever so slightly in the offensive rebound battle, 14-11 in a game where you win by 6 points, and the Hornets were doing things to close that to single possessions or under double digits several times tonight. That's a huge thing when you could steal away a possession or 2 possessions, 3 possessions. Continue through this thing. The Hornets actually did out-assist the Pistons 22-20, but in terms of stocks, the Pistons had 16 stocks, 12 steals, 4 blocks. To the Hornets, 7 steals, 3 blocks. Total turnovers, Pistons have been doing a much better job at this as of late as we continue through the team stats. Only 10 total turnovers for them, and they forced 21. Out of that, they get 23 points off of those turnovers from the Charlotte Hornets. Fast breaks, 14-8. Points in the paint, bludgeoned. 60 points to 26 for the Pistons over the Hornets.
That's where you win.
That's where you win the
That's it.
game. That's where you win. And you know what those points did? There was a point in the time where the Hornets, where the Pistons were actually leading in the foul battle, and then everything just switched. And so how did this game end with the Hornets actually fouling the Pistons more in this game, 24-20 in terms of the ones that were called? And it probably could have been a wider margin than that. And
Absolutely.
if they would have, this would have been a blowout. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
60-26 in the paint, bro. This game could have gotten ugly really, really quickly if you saw guys like Duren and some of those bigs and even Cade, who was just getting hammered all night. For some reason, even though we saw these guys get some free throws and Cade got, let me see, how many attempts tonight? 7 free throw attempts. That was the most on the team. I feel like he got more. But from your All-Stars tonight, we talk about where they missed those free throws. The only person who really missed the free throws tonight, Karis LeVert missed 1. Paul Reed missed 3. And you know what? We looked the other way on his 3 that he missed.
Absolutely.
Jalen Duren, Cade Cunningham, they were perfect from the stripe tonight.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I think that's where you won the battle. It's the physicality. That was the absolute difference. That was, again, I talked about it in the stream. That was the consistency. And those team stats, they show it. They show that that's where you won this game, that you can shoot the three-point ball very well against the Pistons, but with the physicality that the Pistons bring and the consistent effort, you are going to have to work for those threes, and you are going to have to hope that you stay consistent from three, because otherwise you cannot beat this Piston team. And that's what they did. They stripped Charlotte of their identity, which is three-point shooting in the second half. They went ice cold after shooting 61%, falling all the way to 40% to close out the game. That was the difference. That was the difference. You continued to just bully them in the paint. It didn't matter if it was your first string center, your second string center, or your third string center. You absolutely dominated. Shout out to B-Ball Paul. His effort, to me, like, you know, when we talk about the belt and such, like, he's got to get the belt, I think. With the way with what he brought, I ain't mad if you give it to Cade, for sure. Cade was absolutely your leader, of course.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Cade tonight, but I'm not fighting you on that one. No
B-Ball
pushback
Paul,
on that
man,
one.
that was big. That was big because it felt like for a second your identity had shifted. Like, we saw it, Kool-Aid. After Duren and Stu got ejected, the first thing they did, the Hornets, they went after the Pistons in the paint. I was like, oh, my God, they didn't shoot a three this play. They actually took it inside, and they thought it was sweet. And B-Ball Paul was there to remind them, shit is not sweet. His effort, his physicality in this game really kind of helped the Pistons overcome what was the Stu and the Duren ejections, man. I thought that was huge because that was your biggest key in the first half. Duren was running away with them. Duren was on pace for 30. There wasn't a single soul that could stop him.
On nights like tonight, man, when he hitting that free throw,
there wasn't a soul.
It's there, and that's the thing, you know. What I liked really about Paul Reed stepping into there, and why I think he is a fabulous choice to get that belt tonight, I would still go to Deuce. Cade, 33 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists, 12 of 27. Lost his All-Star, still went in there and put up some points in the clutch. Paul Reed missed a couple of free throws down the stretch, which just pulls it down just a little bit for me. But it's like you can't even complain, can't even hate.
Yeah.
What I really loved about B-Ball Paul is this. We've had backup centers in the past who could come in and do a job or a skill set well, right? Oh yeah, our backup point guard, backup center's gonna come in and rebound well, or we know he's gonna set screens, or he's gonna really use those 6 fouls he has. What I like about B-Ball Paul is he comes in and he's gonna play physical, right? Which is what we know this dog pound to be. So if you're gonna play with Stu, if you're gonna be playing on the same team with Duren, you're gonna have to bring the physicality as a big man in that big man room.
Absolutely.
Seeing them work out in practice in the big man room, it's like, okay, all these guys are cut from that same cloth. But what I really liked from Paul that he doesn't allow to slip is the defensive effort. He might not be the same defensive player as Stu. He might not be the same defensive player as Jalen Duren in terms of contesting and being able to have the length to get to certain shots or that quick jump ability of an Isaiah Stewart. But what did we see him do? Some of the most impactful things we saw him do on defense was pressing up and being able to defend on the perimeter. That's something that we all thought, oh, Stu was really good at that 2 years ago. Now we see Jalen Duren getting good at that. Now we see B-Ball Paul. One of the plays we were over here laughing about was what? When he stepped up to the top of the key, when they were trying to run the pick and roll, and he was just like, I'm just tired of your one-leg dancing, LaMelo. And he went up there, took the ball from him, and that's where LaMelo just kind of threw him over him, and they called the foul. Like, I love the fact that we know when our guys are put in a position, they're able to do what's called upon. It might not work 100%. Out every single time, but if this defense calls for the big to be able to have some versatility on the perimeter, well, guess what? It's a great thing that Paul Reed is able to come in and not just show that he has that skill set to a degree, but he's actually going out there and getting steals and things of that nature and having an impact. So it's like I absolutely love that from these guys, from Dennis, from your Paul Reeds. Those guys aren't just stepping in and playing a role. They're stepping in and stepping up.
Yeah,
and I absolutely love that from the makeup of the team. Javonte Green does that every now and then too.
And Neil had a great point. Pistons forced 21 turnovers, broke them mentally. That's that's
Shout
the
out to
truth,
our guy
man.
Neil.
That's the truth. Where this Piston team shines, or I guess you could say even the determining factor for them, is if they're not also coffeeing up the ball. If they are valuing those possessions, you see it. You see it be a huge difference. Again. They outshot the hell out of the Charlotte Hornets. It ended up only being 5, but for a lot of this game, they were getting multiple attempts more than the Hornets. The Hornets broke down and got a couple of second chance looks down the stretch. Again, Pistons got to clean that up, but again, context, no Duren. This Piston team, man, if you are valuing the ball, if you are forcing turnovers, and that physical style basketball just absolutely wears on them. It was incredible, man. This team just continues to win games in ways that feel so real. This isn't just good regular season wins. You are beating tough opponents. I don't want to hear none of that bullshit we heard at the start of the season with strength of schedule, because damn near every test the Pistons have shown up. Damn near every test. What's the last test they did? Maybe that Cleveland game? Way back, game
test?
like 3?
Yeah,
Game 3 of this season?
probably. I
Like the
thought
Wizards
the
one, that
Wizards
was a drop.
just because those are going to be your second half tests. Those are your pedigree. Those are your character wins.
Absolutely.
Go out there and handle your business.
Yeah,
But
and they did.
if we're talking about tests in terms of teams you might match up with in the playoffs, teams you might have to match up with if you're trying to go to the next level, well then, yeah. They've had, I think early in the season is the last time I saw them look, and I think it was the Cavs. That was that last team where you saw them look like, that's not how you want to see this team look. They looked so good against your top level teams that when they ran up against them, it was just like, man, you want to see them do a little bit better. Yeah. Now, overall, the makeup, Hornets are not the Hornets. The Cavs are not anywhere near the level of physicality that the Pistons are, and that's where you know what, with the Pistons, man, I take these types of games. You talk about the free throws, the turnovers that they were able to force. What up, Hefe?
What up, Hefe?
You talk about the turnovers that they were able to force. This is how it relates to the overall physicality. It's something that you said, something that we know about this squad, something we said to start the season, and you said it tonight. They wore them down. Yep. Physicality, just on all ends of the court. So this Pistons team, why is it that they might get outshifted and overplay sometimes on defense, getting swacked up from behind the arc? Because they are playing insane man-on-man ball. Mm-hmm. And over the course of a game, you just get worn down. You're going to have some elite shooters that can still go out there and put something up. Con Knipple, we saw him be able to do that. Brandon Miller, we saw him be able to do that. But how many of those guys do you actually got on your squad? So you might have guys that hit the lucky three-pointer at the end of the first quarter. You might have the guy who he's going to hit 1 3 for the entire game, but that's in a stretch where Charlotte has gone off on a 14-0 run. But is that really who your team is? Yeah. Is your team, when we're actually applying the vice grip to you, who are you then? And what we saw the Pistons do is like a snake that sizes up its opponent and lost something. Like, bro, cut my whole tail off. Don't matter. You're still going down because I got my head. Like, and that's what wound up happening. When it gets to the point now where I'm just like, how good are the Pistons really? I don't want to say what's in my mind. Like, seriously, like, no. This team is showing that real. Even their issues that they have, they're actually able to overcome those things, man, with the style of physicality and defense and attention to detail that they're starting to play, man.
Absolutely,
like, I love this. We even got a two-handed Duncan Robinson dunk tonight, man.
Did he dunk?
Yeah. It was off the right. I forgot who dropped it over to him. He got close. It and he took like 1-2 and just
It looked a little close. Maybe my
eyesight touched the rim, okay?
Maybe my eyesight's getting bad.
Shout out to our boy Duncan Robinson.
I'll give it to him.
He stayed out of the fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you go back and look at the videos of
he's viral right now.
That boy said
he was.
Jeff, you gotta show the people, dog.
Yeah.
What was he doing tonight?
That boy said.
Shout out to Duncan Robinson.
He didn't want no smoke. He said, I'm gonna let Stu handle that.
D-Rob was like, bro, I ain't hitting no threes all night tonight. I'm not getting my hands messed up.
Absolutely.
Not at all.
Absolutely. No, those precious hands that Duncan Robinson's got, you gotta keep those. You gotta keep those nice safe, especially while Kevin Huerter is not.
Yeah. Oh, Flake Dog said it was B-Ball Paul who threw that Duncan Robinson that assist on the dunk.
Yeah.
So shout out B-Ball Paul. You said that we were going to be learning to speak B-Ball Paul,
and we did.
That boy was swooping.
Well, we knew,
and then
Charlotte learned.
And in this
I
next
think they're
game,
pretty fluent in B-Ball Paul now.
In this next game, we're going to be learning how to speak Chaz Lanier.
Get my man some minutes.
I would love
Tulu
that.
Smith. And
I would love
just
that.
Saying, that's what the Pistons are going to be forced to do, though, because of the fact that they're going to be missing bodies.
The thing with Chaz Lanier is, even though I want this man to be playing right now, I think they're playing an actually pretty cool game with him.
Yep, they are.
Get him all the reps he can get right now.
Yeah.
Let him learn. Let him play against NBA defenses. Let him play because the crews only run the Pistons plays.
Yeah.
They're succinct. That's why when their players come up, they just slot right in and they're good to go. Tulu Smith comes up and plays the Paul Reed role. Mm-hmm. You know, so when you got a Chaz Lanier, I think that they're letting him get reps. If he's up here with the Pistons, right now in the rotation, he may get Jaden Ivey's minutes. It may be the 15 a game. Mm-hmm. Is that enough for Chaz Lanier, who, if he's going to be a specialist and has any opportunity to scratch the surface in the playoffs or towards the end of the season, I think you need what you're getting out of him in the G League. Now, if these suspensions get crazy, then Chaz Lanier, boy, let's go.
Yeah, that's
got the ratchet, dog.
Again,
that's what I'm saying.
Again, hopefully Karis LeVert stepped on the court and we get some Chaz Lanier. No, I do think that
this man gonna get.
I do think
Karis LeVert launched to the moon, dog.
I do think with pleasure. I think that
you sending them where you
this
think Killian,
Pistons team though, it will be Tulu Smith, it will be Bobby Clipman. Those will be the guys you see call up because it's the front court depth, at least as of now, that it seems like the Pistons are going to be lacking the next couple games. Yeah. So as much as I love the Chaz Lanier shout out, because Jeff, you know I'm right
Just
there.
Face is like Chaz Lanier a power forward.
Me and you are lockstep on Chaz.
Hey,
I get that.
Ron Holland got to play center, so someone got to step up for Ron. All right.
Ron's going to be back. Hopefully,
Ron's playing the 5.
Y'all know Ron is both like probably kicking himself right now and licking his chops for that next game.
Yeah.
Well, hey, like someone said in the chat, he's probably punched his TV.
And I hope he's okay. Obviously, the first couple games he missed was for personal reasons. So I do hope he's okay. I know his father just had a birthday as well. So happy birthday to Papa Holland, man.
Yes.
Let me zip through this box score, man, before we get some things wrapped up here.
Yes, sir.
Tobias Harris, 35 minutes, 11 points, 4 of 11 from the field, 5 rebounds. I promise you, it looked a lot better than it sounds, especially in the clutch where he actually came up big and hit a couple shots there.
Yep.
Duncan Robinson, only 1 of 3 from behind the arc. Most of the time we would think, well, that's not a good night for him, but he still found a way to put up 18 points on 8 of 10 from the floor. 3 rebounds and 4 assists for Duncan Robinson, who I love the action of Duncan Robinson tonight, man.
Yep.
I loved how he was refusing to stay stationary and stagnant. Jalen Duren, before getting ejected, 20 minutes, right? 15 points, 5 of 7 from the floor, and a perfect 5 of 5 from the free throw line. He also had a block, and he also had a steal tonight to go with 5 rebounds and 2 assists. Cade Cunningham, that man did work tonight, man. This is on a night where Sar Thompson only played 25 minutes and got 6 points and 8 rebounds. Cade Cunningham, 37 minutes. He's routinely now playing the most amount of minutes on this team. Cade Cunningham put up 33 on 12 of 27 shooting, 2 of 6 from behind the arc, 7 of 7 free throws, 9 rebounds, 7 assists. Only 3 turns for him tonight. 1 steal for Cade Cunningham to be a plus 14 in this game. When you go to the bench, you see probably one of the MVPs of this game, Paul Reed, 18 minutes, stepped up admirably in place of not just Jalen Duren, but also Isaiah Stewart, who was also ejected. B-ball Paul Reed. I think I know how to speak the language now, Platte. 12 points, 3 of 5 from the field. 1 of 1 from behind the arc, 5 of 8 free throws. I don't even count the free throws anymore. 2 blocks for him, 2 steals. This man had 4 stocks, bro. 1 assist. He was balling, man. Isaiah Stewart, 2 points. But he did have he was serving pretty well. I saw him give out like 4-piece and a biscuit to Miles Bridges. So shout out to Isaiah Stewart. Javonte Green, 4 points. The bench, Karis LeVert, 5 points. And Danish Jenkins, after getting the contract, 4 points, 3 rebounds. And you know what I like about this team? When you kind of look over at the stocks column, you just see people just got stuff going on in the stocks. This was a team that just everybody got like a 2 or 3 rebounds. Everybody got a steal. The guys that were supposed to got blocks. Regardless of what these guys are doing in the scoring column off the bench, as long as they're coming in and they are playing with absolute havoc on the defensive end and turning that defense into offense really quickly, I'm good to go. And when you really do think about it, we've said this name a couple times tonight, Ron Holland. Realistically, when Jalen Duren and Isaiah Stewart got tossed, they were playing without realistically the entire dog pound.
Yeah.
Like, think about that. Like, the guys who are in the regular rotation of Stu, Duren, and Holland, gone from this game.
Who are responsible for bringing that nasty. That's what's so great about this team, man. And you saw it. Yep. excuse me, you saw Charlotte. I got excited there.
Did you just during the mic?
You saw.
Is that Diabate?
I think that you saw Charlotte try to punk Detroit. You saw Charlotte try to take advantage of this moment. Oh, Stu's gone, Ron's gone, Duran's gone. This is our opportunity to go ahead and go for it. And we think shit's sweet. We can come inside the paint now. They were not allowed in that paint. They tried it once. Man, I didn't see it for several more plays after that. B-Ball Paul came in, set the tone, and kept it Detroit Pistons basketball. And that was huge because you saw it. This wasn't the most pretty execution down the stretch, Jeff. This was pretty much just gutting out this win. This was gutting out this win because you lost a lot of, like Kool-Aid said, that dog pound. Yeah. But B-Ball Paul kept it Detroit Pistons basketball, and that's what kept this game in favor of Detroit because they didn't allow it to become Charlotte Hornets basketball where it's fast-paced, lots of threes, all of that. It didn't get there. It stayed nasty. It stayed grimy. It stayed ugly. And that's what works for the Pistons, man. And so I think B-Ball Paul is huge. That's why, again, to me, he would have got the belt. Other people that stood out, Javonte Green. I know he was only 1 for 5, 0 4 from 3, but I thought his toughness was worth shouting out. Asar, I love that he's continuing to step up his aggression, trying to get his shot, trying to get his rhythm. But I love that. Dan Jenkins, I'm surprised to only see 2 of 6 from the floor because I felt like he was positive. I felt like he was a much-needed steady hand for this Piston team tonight when it was limited on the bench. But this is a night where you're looking at the Pistons bench and very uncharacteristically, it's not high. Now, again, you did have Stu out. You did have Ron Holland out. You did have some of your usual suspects, but this is a team that usually is higher in the league in bench scoring. But tonight, it was the starters doing work, man. It was Cade. It was Duncan.
It was needed.
Yeah,
I feel like needed. With the Danis, this is something that we called out, and I'm glad that we do this. Yeah, we called this stuff out at the beginning of the season. Even when he had nights where the scoring wasn't necessarily there or the stats didn't pop off out the sheet, we said he went in there and did his job. We've seen this team go and put guys in there that couldn't do the job, regardless of if the shot was falling or not.
Absolutely.
And so that's why now I'm looking at this team, and that's why I believe in them that much more. It's not just the defense. It's not just the star level power, but it's about the fact that everybody on this team looks like they fit. I think that's probably the reason why you look at the notion of a Jaden Ivey. It was probably a little bit of addition by subtraction and allow this man to go out there and try and earn whatever contract he feels he can earn. Same thing they did with Sadiq Bey. But when you look at why the Pistons are making this move, I think that they believe, hey, look, we got a squad that's kind of working right now. You know, and that to me is what matters most. That chemistry, the way that these guys are playing together, the way that it doesn't matter. Like the guys aren't going out there hunting for their shots. We have to sit here and be like, Cade, please hunt for your shot. And we know that guy got a bag. You know what I'm saying? And that's the whole notion here. This whole team, when they say that together all the time, I'm telling you, when they start the season off with all this, oh, we think we're special. Oh, you know, JB said we can all be stars in our own lane. When they say this stuff, teams speak all the time like that. Because what you going to say? Oh, we suck? Yeah. I heard the championship word, the C word, at media day. Before they even stepped foot on the court for training camp, this team knew what they were going to be. And they knew what they were going to work for. How did they start last year? Well, who taught them how to set these goals and go after it? Beasley, Tim Hardaway, and Tobias Harris came here last year and said, we are not, and they're on wax. I got it in my phone. I got the video and the audio on my tablet. They came in and said, all of them, during media day 2 years ago, we ain't coming here if it wasn't the playoffs. I asked him, like in the training camp, like, what about the playing? They're like, playing? Yeah. Tim was like, bro, I was just in the finals. I was like, yeah, you were. And everybody just laughed like, yeah. Yeah. But that's where those guys were talking. Now, you think about how confident we know Cade to be, but he just hasn't had the winning to that point. Mm-hmm. So now you got these guys who've won, who've come, and they've unlocked something amongst these young guys, man. So their mindsets are elevated. So now you're coming in this year, and Tobias is like, we special. JB Bickerstaff is looking at the squad like, bruh, I've been around some squads and some young talent. Yeah. This team is special. And now you hear them, Jalen Duren, before the All-Star break, oh, how do you feel about this? And, bro, we trying to play for championship.
Yeah.
It was just like, all right. I
Hey,
like
man.
what I'm seeing from these guys.
Hey, Trey just said bet that and didn't make a move.
Oh, for real? Y'all good? Oh, we're good.
Oh, you good? I can chill? All right, bet. I'm going to chill.
And we
Fall back.
we got to give credit to Trajan because before Trajan got here, we didn't see them going. We didn't have any faith in this Pistons organization that they were going to go out and get the players that were needed to be around Cade Cunningham so that we
Right.
can see Cade, really reach his full potential. So it's a huge shout out to Trajan to bringing in those vets, Malik Beasley, Tim Hardaway, bringing Tobias back, because those players helped Cade mature as well as reach his full potential. And you've seen what Cade was like with a true shooter on his team. And you see it still now with Duncan Robinson. It's the same thing. Having a true shooter on your team, having, this pick and roll combination with, Jalen Duren still, but then also being able to lean on a vet like Tobias, and then having Tim for that year, having someone that could also knock down big shots when needed, so that Cade didn't have to feel like he was doing it all, and that he could truly be what he wanted to do and spread the basketball and play at his game and play at his pace. So that's a huge shout out to Trajan. And then for JB he's gotten the most out of Jalen Duren and Isaiah Stewart. This is the
Absolutely.
best that duo of that front court has looked, and it's under JB because he's seen it. Like you said, Kool-Aid. Mm-hmm. Like JB was like, hey, I get to work with them. Like, yeah, like he's seen what the potential was with this duo, and now that you see what they're reaching and their potential as a duo in the front court, and it's like, yeah, Jalen Duren, all-star, Isaiah Stewart, best defensive player in the league.
B-Ball Paul. There's a lot of teams out there. You look at B-Ball Paul and Javonte Green. There are teams trying to chase the Pistons right now in the playoffs who would be helped tremendously by those players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about it. Those are two picks, two signings where I don't know how many Pistons fans were like, yes, got B-Ball Paul. Yes, we got Javonte. Remember what I was calling for? I was like, we need our Thomas Bryant.
Yep.
I was calling for. Then we got B-Ball Paul, and I was like, we'll see. Then I saw him play, and I was like, oh, snap. Yeah, see? I told y'all we'll see. But I got to be honest with you. I was like, I literally like, all right. We going to see how this goes. And then when they got Javonte Green, it was a player who I knew, okay, he's one of those gritty, grizzly players. He ain't saying much. He not even talking to the refs. Like, seriously, like he's – and then he just goes out there and just plays ball.
Just the perfect role player. Literally, just –
Yeah.
It just fits with your team.
He's really
just fits.
This
like
team,
him,
man, this has been a special season.
They're special.
You got some upcoming games here. Again, chat.
And those are going to be a fight,
like
chat.
the stream.
I
You were
like
part
this.
of a historic night.
Yeah, this is
Historic
definitely
night.
a historic night.
Mr. Nuga says this. In a league full of divas, we have the Pistons.
Yeah.
fact.
I like that.
I like that.
Just to recap before we wrap up here, man. First of all, shout out to my guy Platte, Balnora Platte, man. Great commentary
Shout out
tonight
Kool-Aid.
and getting things set up. Shout out to El Jefre in the chat, man, in the TD booth and holding it down with our chat family. We'll go over these stats really quickly one more time. 110-104. The Detroit Pistons beat the Charlotte Hornets. Obviously, the big news of the night. Cade's 33 points gets a little bit overshadowed. Why? Because there was a fight.
Because Karis LeVert no.
33 points for Cade, 9 rebounds, 7 assists for your star player, Jalen Duren, before your ejection, 15 points. And you know what? 5 of 5 from the free throw line, man. This team was doing what they were supposed to be doing. Special night, but obviously the big event. It was the fight that went down. Diabate, about 50 pounds lighter than Jalen Duren, was probably just had a little too much of getting beast moded on and decides, I'm going to get up in Jalen Duren's face and talk that trash. And I'm talking about up in his face to the point that I'm like, bro, did you just kiss Jalen Duren? But Jalen Duren was like, what are the 5 fingers headed in the face? Smack. And after that, I feel like the gates of hell just opened up, bro. It was absolute chaos. People running around.
It absolutely did. Like
People in the crowd getting bumped into.
Stu was like that GTA meme. Ah shit, here we go again. Yeah. Like, He was ready for the
If you
moment.
slow it down, that's probably how he was running out there. Like
He was ready for the moment. Look, he was a good soldier last time. Last time he didn't do nothing, right? Like he got in a headlock. He played it cool. He's like, hey, look, I did that. I was cool. But he tonight, he did what he needed to do for the Pistons. And yeah, I think that it's gonna be interesting, man. You got a tough stretch. Toronto, New York, Chicago, the Jaden Ivey revenge game. And then you have San Antonio and OKC both at home for Detroit. And then you have Cleveland after that. So like that is the next 6 games coming up. I don't know how long. There, huh? Yeah, I don't know how long Stu's going to be out. There's going to be a lot of tests in there, so it's going to be interesting to see what the Pistons could take away from this upcoming trip against a lot of good teams. Look, that OKC game, that's important. Like I said, that could help decide that number 1 seed in the NBA. We were told OKC was this big bad juggernaut. Nobody could touch them. Their team's going to win 85 games in an 82-game regular season, and Pistons are right there tied with them in the loss column and have an upcoming game against them. So hopefully Stu is back and available for that. But it is going to be interesting to watch to see how these punishments come out. Other than that, man, I'm ready. It's on to the next one at Toronto. A playoff team. Make your statement. That could be another playoff preview.
it'd be interesting because that was another one of those teams at the beginning of the season that people were like, oh my God, Scotty Barnes has arrived, and he finally has his superstar. And Brandon was like, are y'all are just. Look, we actually got a real freaking team here that you don't have to change your opinion on in a few months.
I'll tell you what.
We got the Pistons.
I'll tell you what. Sark Thompson's going to put Brandon Ingram in hell.
I can't wait.
Lock the gates.
This whole Scotty Barnes crap.
What are we talking about?
You know what I love is that Cade came up with like half their team.
Yeah.
Like he came up playing in the circuits with these guys, and guess what? Dominating all of them. You think Cade cares about them? What was he doing his rookie year?
Hey.
He was like, I got the assignment on Evan Mobley and was shutting him down.
That's not.
And then he hit the three. That was where you get the famous woo gift that's all over social media now.
Cade and Scotty were on the same team. Scotty was looking up to Cade. Cade was the leader.
Yeah.
It's still that.
It's still that. These guys know what the deal is, and you see Cade right now. They tried to hold him back. It was almost as if they were like, hurry up, guys. Hurry up quick. Quick, get your rewards before Cade Cunningham is on. Scotty Barnes, you got your rookie of the year. Oh, so awesome. Just how quickly now is it like some of these fortunes are a little different.
We should say Kool-Aid.
All of the dumb redrafts that had Scotty and some of these people above Cade, it's just like, y'all, if y'all don't, that ain't happening.
That's why Americans had to get that give back. That's why Kendrick got on Drake's ass. He said, hold on. These Canadians been getting away with some bullshit for too long.
Shout out to the rap Cade.
And who's looking like the second best player in that draft class right now?
My family.
None of those guys. It's Jalen Johnson.
That's facts. That's
so,
facts.
Give me Jalen Johnson.
Come on now.
Yeah. He's a baller.
There was a time where I thought, all right, he's injured. Yeah. Maybe the Hawks are trying to blow things up, and instead they knew who to keep.
Unfortunately, they're smart.
They knew who to keep.
Unfortunately, they're smart. That's
hey,
tough.
Trey, how you like DC? It's nice
I love
this time
DC.
of year.
Get me paid. That was his mentality. But no, man, it's gonna be interesting. Everybody should be a Lakers fan by the way tonight because they're playing OKC.
Tonight could be the night that we take over first place.
Would we if they lost?
I believe it's either a tie or we take over.
We're tied with them in the loss column, but I think they were up 1 win on us or 2 wins on us.
Let me see if it changed. Maybe
So we are 39-13. They are 40-13.
Yeah, so we tie. Tonight.
So we tie them. We tie them if the Lakers handle business tonight. So, go LeBron.
I can't bring myself to say
go LeBron.
Crazy.
Go Bronny.
Go Bronny.
Yeah, do that.
Go Austin Reeves.
If
the son doesn't have a King
if
James
Bronny goes off
back.
against like the number one defense in the NBA, man, that would be crazy. That would be crazy. That would be where we need to go.
Bro, it's so improper. I'm not gonna make the bet. I'm not tattooing Bronny's name on my body anywhere.
No. Don't
all right,
do
look,
that.
that's a
don't
wrap. I'm saying crazy things now. Let's get out of here.
We need to cut it.
Now we got some super chats to clear up here.
Oh yes.
Those up for us.
Yeah, we got to get those out there. I ain't say that with the $2 super chat. I've been in a fight on the court. Got to show fight.
I ain't say
Got to show fight.
I wonder who can we roll with. Like,
Chat, let's get to 200. We're at
Yep, we got. Hey, we need two more.
we're at 199 on my screen. It says.
Okay.
So we need 2 more. Oh no, you're right. You're right. It is 198. I just refreshed.
It's late. Chris
somebody
is getting,
unlocked
Yeah.
or somebody unliked. What a
Now, Freight Train J also with the super chat. Miles Bridges commits DV to his women. He has a reputation too as well.
Sheesh.
that could honestly be a factor in his punishment for sure.
Pistons are like,
I'm just
you
saying.
were supposed to be here. We lost 14. We only won 14 games because you effed up. Blah, blah, blah. Maybe that's what it was. Braylon, I like what he said, too. He was like, bro, that looked personal.
That did.
The boys jumped him, dog. Goodness gracious.
That did.
And there
Shout
we
out to
go.
his peoples from here.
Chat got us there. 201. Appreciate y'all for sticking with your boys.
Shout out again. Like the stream on the way out. Kool-Aid, why don't you go ahead and take us out, man?
Hey, no, look, I love doing this stuff. Thank you, chat family, for being here, for supporting us. And shout out to all of the day ones and the real ones and all of the new ones as well. And I even seen that there's some fans from other teams in the chat too. So
shout out.
Like we said, get the stream into the algorithm of other fans. Let's rock, man, because this could be a place for everybody where we're cheering on our teams, where we're talking junk, where we're bantering, and where we're honestly just having some good old fun. For me personally, this continues to be a dream. The journey is never smooth. Like the path is never smooth. But in terms of what we're doing right now, there's not any bone in my body that's not grateful. I'm very grateful to be running with this company, running with the jobs we're doing. We'll be at All-Star break. We'll be there the second time in a row, man. So I'm grateful to the NBA, grateful to Woodward, grateful to Pistons, grateful for the team that we got right now because it's based off coverage we do and things of that nature, as well as a relationship being built up over the years. So, shout out to Jeff. I know this is tough. Everybody's working, people work.
People grind.
And so I know people got to put in a little bit more to make these types of things happen.
But you guys
so
make it
worth
worth
it,
it,
Jeff.
man.
And shout out Platte, man. What up,
you
though?
guys make it worth it in the chat, man.
Yeah, the chat definitely makes it worth it.
That's what this is for, man. If you told me again that this is my dream to even see a Pistons season like this, let alone be covering it for the #1 network in Detroit, man, it's the greatest gift God could ever give. So I'm grateful eternally to all of you. That's why I stress. When I'm going to these games come playoff times, I want to see you. I want to meet with you guys in the chat, man. Please let me know. I'm gonna be very excited for those moments. I'm gonna be riding there with y'all, and stay tuned because we got some special things coming for this chat family, man. Because you guys are what make it worth it, man. We can't do this without you. Thank you for the likes, the comments, the shares, everything that you guys do. It makes this dream possible for us, and you guys are really our people, man. You guys are our people. Shout out everybody in the chat.
Shout out Detroit Gunny in the chat.
That's my guy, man.
WSN, the best sports network in the whole wide world, Craig.
That's facts.
Hey, and shout out to XRP Plumbing too. I don't know if he is if he's a fan of the Pistons.
He said he was a Heat fan.
He was a
so
Heat fan,
we
but he
appreciate
was
you
like,
for stopping in.
He said Durham is a gangster.
Yeah,
hey,
I appreciate you for stopping in,
XRP.
XRP.
Man, y'all look great.
Thank you for Duncan Robinson.
Hey, let's have a night, man. Celebrate this Pistons win. Not too hard because I guess soon we're gonna figure out what's going to go down. But let's rock, man.
One more game before the All-Star break. Toronto, Wednesday.
If you're new here, subscribe.
Yes, please subscribe to the network Woodward Sports. We have 4 shows running every day, Monday through Friday, weekdays, breaking down everything: the Pistons, the Tigers, the Red Wings, the Lions, all the teams around Detroit. And that is Kool-Aid, aka Brandon Dent, your Detroit Pistons credentialed reporter. I'm Chris Platte, aka Platte Pods, with my guy Jeff El Jefe, Jeff Walker, Jeff Skywalking on the beat. And we will see you guys next week. Well, next stream,
Wednesday.
which will be Wednesday.
Yep.
Wednesday. Or maybe we have to figure it out. We have to figure it out. We got a VIP.
Stay tuned. We'll let you know.
VIP rolling all the way to All-Star Weekend. So we'll have to figure out what we're doing. But we will be giving you guys content from All-Star Weekend. Shout out, y'all. Peace.
Hey, one more, real quick before we go. I love this team as well, and with All-Star, we're gonna be figuring out what we can do to try and get some type of stream done. But shout out to Travis too. Like when it is these types of events, we usually go into like a tandem mode in terms of the content, how it gets up the socials. And so we're collecting it, and he's helping to process like tons of videos and pictures at a time. So like I want to make sure like the guys behind the scenes that
Travis
don't usually you get their due. Shout out to Travis and that whole social team, man. Justin, Spinny, Easy, KG, and everybody else who contributes, man. So it's a family affair here. It's a
absolutely.
It's about to be a fun thing, man.
Yeah.
This Pistons team is special.
Yep.
All right. I think
Play
that's
that
a wrap,
music,
man. Shout out to y'all, man. Smash that like button.
Shout out to y'all.
I would say get home safe, but I think that's for us.
Yeah, that's for us. That's for us.
Let's rock.
See you guys next time.